Alright, we is alive. Unscheduled live again. That's why I don't have anybody here. It's unscheduled. Also gives me a chance to, hey, if I say something stupid, pause. Maybe not pause, I'm sorry. Have enough time to, edit. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted to show something that reminds me of what they are describing Brian. Then I'm going to do what every other content creator is doing and listen to the good old parents. And then, or maybe I'll just go over this one video and ask you guys, why is Kaylee always on the phone? So let me get that together. Yeah, let's duplicate this. Duplicate. All right. So I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to go to... Oh, I didn't even have to do that. My bad. Get rid of that. Go here. Content. It's content, I tell you. Content! Sorry, I'm upset. So, somebody like me is a little on the upset side. Quite upset. So, I am going to be looking for everything that we're going to talk about today. As I did promise. But I do still have to create videos. And I did promise I was going to do something a little different. But I haven't gotten there yet. Where is my stuff? What's going on here? What is happening? Alright, I have an idea. Let's go with visible. I know you don't see what I'm doing, so the unlisted one. Now, we got I got that. And I did upload what I needed for... Where did I upload it? Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? It was uploaded. OMG. Okay, so then we'll just go to Connor. That's fine. I can do that. Yes, I can. Alright, let's do this. And let's go find Connor. Duplicate. Give me a second, sorry. And we'll just pull hers up. I have it on here. I just don't know where it's located. I have like tons. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. The one I'm looking for is the one I already talked about. Oh, yeah, I talked about it in a live event. So that's where it's at. But I do have it on private, I think. That's right. I have it on private. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. But that's okay. I got it from here. Where is it? How come she doesn't have it anymore? Oh my god. Connor. What's going on here? She's just hiding stuff now. Okay, here we go. She had 2 of these though. Was this camera 1? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to keep that. Alright, let me come back to y'all. And we are going to play this. Hey, thank you for being here. Miss me, is that what? Oh, Miss Mel. Sorry. Miss Mel, the 143. Thank you for being here. I'm just going to call you Mel. Okay. We are going to go over that interview. I hope you like how I display it. Okay? I really do. I might be a little narcissistic. Just let me know if I'm showing a little bit of narcissism. Okay? Because I have that habit. and I don't mean anything by it. I'm just as strange as this little motherfucker right here. Okay. Now, not as articulate as this little guy, but he reminds me of the description they're trying to describe Brian. Thank you so much. So I'm going to press play, and yes, I'm going to get a strike on this, but what I'll do is I'll fight the strike because this is only, educational purposes. OMG. They're never going to find me, don't worry. They're just always going to ride past me. I'm good like that. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jesus. Are you kidding?
Wait, I like that.
And remember, if anybody bothers you, what do you say?
My dad's a football coach.
And?
My brother's a football player.
Good.
Hey, Mom, look, that girl's pregnant.
Congratulations.
Well, that was revolting.
Right. This is your homeroom. Do you want me to go in with you?
No, although I could have used you in the restroom.
Okay, well, you have a good day, and I'll pick you up after school, same door we came in.
Are you crying or having an allergy attack?
Allergies.
It's probably the ammonia.
Probably.
Okay, let the learning begin.
All right, everybody. My name is Ms. McElroy.
So before we go on, because again, you got to talk through it. YouTube will be like, "Hey, you didn't talk through it." All right, but observe. What I want you guys to do is watch this program on Netflix if you're able, or let me know if you have, and tell me when you're watching this, does it remind you on how you think Brian may have been most of his life? This before you hit the drug stuff. Trying to make friends. I mean, just like I was blown away when I was watching it last night, and I was like, here's the sad part is that people like that are different, like him or me, there's always somebody or many who will think that we're weird, who will they don't want to be associated with, judged. Okay. Oopsies.
Some of you in my English class, some of you on the volleyball court. Just to give you a little history, I've been here at Medford for 29 years. I taught some of your older brothers and sisters, and sadly, some of your parents. Not much I haven't seen until today. I'm sure you're well aware we have a student with us who, despite his young age, is remarkably gifted. And I expect y'all to make him feel welcome. Yes, Sheldon?
Per the student dress and grooming code, this boy's hair is too long. This boy is wearing sports attire outside of a designated area, and this girl's blouse is diaphanous, which means I can see her brassiere.
Thank you. I will take that into account. All right. We have a few minutes before first period. I need y'all to fill out these forms. What?
Also, in violation of the grooming code, on page 48, Article 5, subsection B, you have a bit of a mustache.
This is a stupid idea. This boy does not belong in our school.
Come on, Vicky. It's just the first day. Why don't we all just take a deep breath here?
The hell with that. 5 minutes into my math class, he questioned my credentials.
How am I supposed to control a classroom when a kid accuses me of being in breach of the hygiene code?
Well, Hubert, it wouldn't kill you to shower a little more often. George, you want to weigh in here? Well?
Oral Roberts University is a wonderful school.
He said I was intimidated by his intelligence, and then he offered to be my leader.
Let me see where you guys are thinking about. Tell me, doesn't that kind of seem like what you would think Brian was as a child? All right, what show is this, please? Oh, this is the child genius, Sheldon Cooper, and it's on Netflix. Yeah, make sure you guys do take the time to watch this, because I'm going to show you how people discriminate against individuals that are different. And as we are going to watch the Brian Entin's interview, just like everybody else, I'm going to show you quite a few things, including once they start calling us pro burgers. Number one, they are asking for help. And because we are questioning everything, we're lunatics. Okay, we're noticing things, we're zooming in on stuff, we're mentally ill. So that's the whole reason why I brought this one up, because if you're different, they're going to name call you. They're going to shut you out, especially if you happen to be major competition because of your intelligence. Okay? And they will use your weakness against you to get other people to turn against you as well. So with Sheldon, he is too straightforward. There's no feelings within Sheldon. There's no empathy. There's nothing. He's empty. Don't worry, they're going to pass me again. Hey, I cleaned the van, okay? There's no bodies in here. We're good. All right. Now, somebody like me who has who sounds like she's under the age of 18, but a grown-ass woman, okay, would be shunned on. They would assume that I'm mentally ill, or that I can't, I'm stuck as a 12-year-old. It's not my fault if my voice is kind of stuck there. But that doesn't mean my intelligence isn't, where it should be. Now, I talk backwards. So I would have dyslexia. I would be suffering from that too, but they won't, they won't say, hey, she's suffering from this or that. They'll say, oh, she's illiterate. She needs to go back to school and learn how to read, learn how to talk. Mean things, okay? Judgmental things. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not like I haven't really truly has ever been picked on until I came to YouTube, but I never been picked on like that. But I'm just trying to come up with something. All right, let's watch. For now, I'm picturing that this could be how Brian grew up. This is before he runs into the friends and starts doing drugs, because he's trying to make friends. Hold on, I gotta get rid of the music. Give it a minute. He's watching the music. Gotta wait for the music. So he's gonna play a little music. Wonder if he knows how to play. Okay, so I didn't get to this part yet. So they're all supposed to be previous. Okay, here we go.
It's simple. We don't have a choice.
Well, you gave it a shot. We wish you luck at Sheldon elsewhere.
No. We don't have a choice. He's got to stay here. We can't afford private school. I sure can't homeschool him. He's doing calculus and Euclidean something.
Euclidean geometry. Guess where I learned that?
Yeah, we know. All I care about is that my son gets the education he deserves. So you all are going to have to figure this out.
Coach, can you help me out here, please? Because I'm dying.
Okay, so it's called Sheldon Cooper, all right? Now, what I really wanted to show you is what I watched last night. And he went and got a book from the library. I'm sorry I couldn't find it. Okay, and let me get rid of this. So he went and got a book from a library, and it was old. It was to teach him how to make friends. And it wasn't working out no matter how hard he tried. So when I was looking at that and he's holding this book, I was like, that's just like Brian Koberger with all the books that he has in his room. And he only has like certain literature that's important to him, nothing else. So that's why I said I want you guys to watch that. I have a feeling that what they're about to do is probably use Brian to help pass new laws. They're still going to try and pass laws where they can deal with the lifers, okay, the ones that are supposed to be sentenced for execution but haven't been executed yet. Maybe make some laws tougher, but what they're going to do is start introducing different mental illness. They're going to introduce autism, dyslexia, all kinds of stuff. And what they're going to probably implement is why they need to treat them differently as any other unaliver or any other criminal, because they're different. They are complete. They cannot be. God, what's it called? Because they say that they try to fix them, and I forgot what it's called. Yeah, so that they can go back into society, but it never works because they get worse in jail, because it, basically that's a money making scheme. Rehabilitate them. That's the word. Rehabilitate them. That's why you'll notice a lot of these inmates, they learn the Bible, they learn the law books. They can actually come out and become judges. And there's quite a few individuals who have came out of their sentence and actually became judges. And so I still got to go over that with you. But they never had a case, at least they did. It's just never known a case of individuals that are different, that think different, that have disabilities, but they're not really disabilities. They're more like high IQs. They're just you can't talk to them like you could talk to just anybody else. They're different, almost like AI, completely empty inside, and just kind of like that TV show. So I wanted you guys to go watch that. Okay, so let's get back to brass tacks. Just waiting for everybody to get in. Now, we're going to get down to nitty gritty, but try to remember what we just went over. Okay, people that are just walking in. Okay, you're going to have to do the rewind. Now, I do my very, very best to make it as clear as possible. Now, what we're going to get at is the fact that this family admits they never seen the body. Now, they don't say it in so many words. You want to know why? Because when they get to that point where they almost say it, they cut it off. They make sure they don't say, "Hey, we never seen the body." Okay, so here's my take on it. I haven't watched anyone else's take on it. So I know that other content creators have went live to talk about this. I did not watch it. I was working today all day. And then by the time I got done work, I was so exhausted, I took a nap. Okay, so I took a nap about 4 something and then kind of woke up after 6. I was so tired, but I'll be working. And so I never got to see what the other content creators had to say about this. So this is me, okay? No reference or any ideas from any other content creator. Okay. Now we're going to do this, and then you're going to hear me chit-chat.
That the expert hired by the defense team, like that was their job to come up with other theories. And at the end, I mean, Brian Koberger, we were both in the courtroom, pled guilty, admitted to the murders. So.
Oh, and also you're going to have to excuse my language because I'm going to be cursing out Brian Entin like throughout this whole goddamn thing. I'm going to be like, fuck you, you son of a bitch. So it's going to happen. So bear with me.
What do you make of these people that are really hanging on to, these other theories that are now floating around?
I'm not really sure why they're still hanging on there. I mean, I don't know why they're trying to fight for him when he didn't fight for himself and neither is his own family. So why are these people out here, trying to,
Okay, number one, how do you know that his family is not fighting for him? Okay, it may not be public, lady, and there might be a big reason why it's not public. Maybe they don't know how to handle it. Okay, I would say, why don't you educate yourself on, that TV show? Like, go watch it. Educate yourself on children like that, how they grow up, how they try to learn to fit in. Now, I'm not saying that Brian was in certain grades at a young age. That's not what I'm saying. It's just different IQ, different way of thinking. You have some people who think backwards, or and to them that's forwards, and then the ones that think forwards think backwards. Okay, I have talked about how we all learn differently, and there is a study out there on how we learn differently, and that there's people who you have to teach hands-on, because if you throw a book in front of them, they'll lose their mind. And then there's people that you have to put the book in front of them, because if you try to hand teach them, they're like, because they want to find their own way of learning. They don't want you to show your way. So they need the book. There's a difference between us humans. We're not all the same. None of us are the same.
Make this a different story than what it is. I don't know if it's just lack of knowledge, just really not knowing the details, maybe being just very close-minded and this warped sense of mind, just, read.
See, Christy, I have to respect you. You're the one that's being closed-minded. You're the one that's not saying, hey, why did this happen? Okay, in a minute, they're going to sit there and tell these people off, but they don't want to know what made them do what they did. We're the crazy people? Okay, hold on.
You can read both sides of the documents, this expert and this expert. Maybe they're just cherry picking what they want to fit their theory, to fit their analogy of what happened, their speculation.
Okay, isn't that what the prosecution did? The investigation that Moscow, Idaho decided to take over, isn't that what they did? How much did they miss? Okay, now you guys basically said, yeah, I'm telling you, they are looking for me. They're never gonna find me. You hear that? Woo, 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 you're never gonna find me. Okay, but I really wish this. I feel like I'm in New York City or Jersey. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just like, it never stops where I am. It's only at night. It's called quiet during the day. All right, you know what? Let me get back to the brass taxes.
I don't know if it's just lack of knowledge, just really not knowing the details, maybe being just very close-minded and this warped sense of mind, just, reading, you can read both sides of the documents, this expert and this expert. Maybe they're just cherry picking what they want to fit their theory, to fit their analogy of what happened.
All right, Christy, boom! Come on now. Who's fitting what theory? Because it ain't us. All right? Who started that shit? Okay? Well, let's observe. Let's observe on how confused your motherfucking asses are still. Because you guys are still asking the same questions. But you see how Steve G is like convinced it's Brian? It has to be Brian. I have a feeling he got to sit with him. Not that Brian told him anything. He got to sit and observe his behavior, or he got to watch it on a video and observe his behavior. And because he was different, this jock ass motherfucker, okay, decided he's gonna say, yeah, he's a psychopath. He did it. Look at how he's acting. I never seen anybody act like this. This is completely different. He's a psycho. You made up your mind why, because you need a psycho. And I ain't done with you yet, Mr. Steve. I ain't done with you yet, because we do need to know who the hell your daughter has been texting. Okay? Snap shooting pictures to. And why do we hear your voice in the 911 call? Don't mess with me. Oh, and then why did you go to the hospital again? And Chrissy's not even sure what went down. Okay, she's like, oh, but he went, but I didn't see it. Okay, well, hold on.
There's speculation because we know for a long time it was pure speculation because there was the gag order. We were all grasping at straws. You know what I'm saying? We all had little bits and pieces, and it just created a perfect storm. And it has-
Wait. You all had bits and pieces. You seen the body, right? But you had bits and pieces of the story. But aren't you supposed to be able to identify your child's body? Oh, we're gonna get there.
It's like this petri dish, and all that's left is just the nothing but bacteria that just continues to grow. It needs a big dose of antibiotic.
Yeah.
Heavy duty.
So Shannon was like, I was a little upset with the way that the plea deal went, and I felt like it wasn't quite. I didn't want to fight this battle for the rest of my life.
A little upset, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to fight this for the rest of my life, and I thought that more could be done. One thing Shannon did say was, Steve, that when somebody pleads for a mass murder and waives their right, never in the history have they ever had it overturned and got like a retrial. So a mass murder and then waiving your rights to the appeal means he goes away. Even though I thought without like the details of him saying whether the murder weapon was and different things, was going to leave it open for people to, play these games in the true crime communities. So I think I'm right, but maybe in the reality of things, he's never going to get an appeal. That's not realistic. His DNA is in the crime scene, and he's never going to ever be. If he gets an.
Okay, Steve. Number one, they're not using the DNA. They never were going to. The only person that kept insisting on keeping the DNA in this trial, okay, was Ann Taylor and Brian. Why? Because they were getting ready to prove that sheaf was staged. So why don't you read the Dr. I want to call him Dr. Turkey, but it's Turby or something like that. Read his report. Read the other reports too, where they're questioning the evidence. Okay? Why not do that? So, Steve, I got a problem. I got a problem. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And you know what? You're not going to shut nobody up. You want to know why? Because we are questioning you. And I'm going to explain why we're questioning you.
Appeal, then the whole world gets an appeal. All of American cases get opened up, and you have DNA at the ground. Like, literally, what are you saying? You're going to say you're going to open up every single case? Because that's really what you would be doing. You'd be setting a precedent. So,
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. The people.
Boom. So if the truth comes out, okay, Steve, about corruption in the court, the prosecution being corrupt, using the court so that they could use people as informants. If any of that actually got out, yeah, they would have to reopen a lot of cases. How many people did they set up to be caught carrying or being on something. I mean, we watched that through the battlefield where they're just literally trying to catch people with alcohol in their hands and they don't have it. So what? They're walking around all dazed and confused, but they still get a ticket. There's no alcohol on them. Unmarked vehicles? Are you kidding me? Then inviting young individuals to a party knowing that they're underage to set them up so those police officers can human traffic them, so that the court system can human traffic them. You only set up the ones that you need, the ones that are closer to the crowd you're watching. Yeah. Oh, yes, it would open up a can of worms. There's probably a list of individuals that should and they need to get an attorney and start fighting their charges right now. They need to start talking about the corruption, and if they have any charges, or if they are in prison for something they didn't do, or they just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. How did they get there? They need to talk about it. Okay, it needs to open up.
Who just, it seems like they forget that his DNA is on the knife sheath.
Well, and that's another part. That's another part that they explained, and they did a really good job. Is they said it, Steve, it's not just there. So we know people would say that they dropped that.
It was planted.
Sheep, but it was aspirated. So there's aspirated blood from, unfortunately, our daughter and Maddie. But that means it was under pressure. That means that the droplets were, to be technical, it was an aspirated. So it was under pressure. So they landed, and his DNA landed amongst that. So you couldn't just drop that sheath afterwards and still have the aspiration there. So they were like, we were going to destroy that argument that it was dropped after the fact, because you couldn't have the victim's blood in the manner that it was there. So
it wasn't like smears where they could have just smeared some on it.
But when they tell you this, and then the rest of the world doesn't get to hear it, you get mad that they're getting out of their jobs. They have a job to do, and just because you make a plea deal, doesn't mean you don't have a responsibility to communicate to the rest of your community, this is what you would have done. They just say, wash my hands, I'm done. And we can't do that in our jobs. We can't just go to our coworker and say, let's make a deal. Well, what is it? Well, we don't have to do any more of our work. We're done. If we could do that, a lot of us would go to work every weekend and make deals that we could get out of our jobs. So I think...
See, it's just like me. It's not easy to explain, an idea. So, hey, I don't feel so bad. Thank you. It kind of sucks. I'm a lot like this fucker. Okay? It's not a good thing. But, I don't want to be like Steve G, but I see that I am. Even the way I talk. Very cryptic, ain't I? Just like he. That means that me and him suffer from the same freaking mental whatever the fuck that we may have. I don't know what it is, but
we're going to try to work towards those type of things getting fixed, where you make a plea deal, but you still explain. Maybe you do a mock trial. I don't know what that...
Right, never mind. I'm not exactly like him. If I was, then if we are, then that would mean he knows exactly he is the architect. He would have to have the same intelligence in which I have as a visual designer. He would have to be an architect. He would have to use Brian for his intellect to set up a scene. But if he didn't do any of that, and he just met or observed Brian and he made his decision from there, they had his DNA, it's over, done, boom. Close-minded. Either A, he's a dumbass, or B, he's very calculated, and he needs Brian to be the guilty party, because he knows that the FBI and everything's looking into him and his daughter and any type of activities that was going on.
Looks like, but I know it doesn't look like YouTube is going to do the trial for the next 4 years.
Well, and I think your case is unusual. I mean, it's just so watched. You know what I mean? Most people don't have to deal with what you guys have to deal with when there's a plea deal. Has anyone been bothering you guys? I mean, like Christy was saying before we got on here, this latest document dump has kind of energized some of these like pro burger people. I mean, are people?
Brian Entin, go fuck yourself. All right, pro burger people. Come on now. Nobody online is a pro burger person. They want to know what the hell's going on. Nothing makes any sense. The crime scene doesn't fucking make sense. Are you fucking kidding? A lot of us are experts, okay, in a way. We have experience in certain things. We can see that something ain't right. Whether we had some type of production experience in high school or college or acting or cleaning service. Hello, I had one. A lot of us, you have retired officers, retired whatever on. I mean, this case blew their fucking mind, and they're like, impossible. Hello, and I did show another expert that said that you're the psychopath, Steve. Yeah, a real expert, a doctor. So we're gonna get there.
People bugging you guys, or do they respect you, or?
They like to throw our name out there a lot, and they like to, go back and look at old interviews or whatnot, and call us liars.
Yeah, because you're busted as a motherfucker. Okay, maybe you should have kept your mouth shut. If you don't have all the information, you should have told us that. If you didn't see your child's body, all you're getting is word on what happened to your child. Why don't you tell the fucking truth? So what is it? They hand you what you think is a cremated version of your daughter and your daughter's best friend, yet you didn't go in and identify their fucking body? Because if you did, you would already fucking know. You would already have seen the wounds. No, you didn't get to identify nothing. You took their word for it. Who's closed-minded here? Who's fucking nuts? As a parent, I want to see my baby's body. I don't give a shit what it looks like. It could be in pieces. Let me make sure that is my baby. I want to know the damn story. Okay? You guys didn't fight for that story. No, you went on social media to fucking stir up some frenzy. To create a divide is what you guys did. Then what did you and Olivia do, Steve? You ruined the investigation. You kept steering them a certain way, pushing them a certain way. Who dropped out of this investigation? Okay, the Fed did, the marshals did. Who took over? The state. And you think that if the state would have lost, federal would have came in? Because federal knows that something ain't right.
About things and this and that, and the thing is, we never lied about anything. There may have been times during the case that we had been misinformed and we spoke misinformed information, but contrary to what some people might or might not believe, it really doesn't matter to us. But we never intentionally lied. There's a lot of misinformation out there, so to think that at times that we didn't have.
So don't call us pro burgers, okay? Don't call us mentally ill. You fucking did it to us. Do you understand me? You fucking did that. You're the one that created all of us. And we are questioning not because we want to make money, bitch. Because my channel don't make a damn dime. Okay? I don't even have members. Okay? I am not even monetized. None of my channels are monetized. Except for one, but I barely use it. So, what am I? Am I mentally ill? Now, I want to know the truth too. And you do mention in your other interview and I think it was with Miss Banfield, I think, that you didn't want to, oh God, what do you call it? I have to remember. I have to go over that. Yeah, as soon as I remember, I'll go over that. For some reason, me trying to remember, I just forgot. But we're going to go over that. But I remember. Just give it a minute.
Misinformation
Yeah.
would be, why are we held at this, different standard? We were all under this gag order and fighting, and people were reaching out to us on different levels, and we were vetting that stuff. Like, is this true? Is this true? That, this person is this person, this person sounds really credible, like, I think this might really be true. Oh, that is absolutely not true. And we weren't just running with everything, what I'm saying, that we were getting. So,
People are very simple-minded in the true crime community. Two things can be right. So Abbott could have been told, Abbott could have been told, tell them that their daughters were asleep and they were attacked. That can be true, but her not going into the details of saying that they fought back and there was, there's all these details. That could be true as well. But she told us they were asleep and they were attacked and they'd been drinking. So that's what we went with. So it wasn't that we're lying. It was just, that's the truth as we knew it at the moment.
At that time. And things changed, like things evolved and things changed. So
and that's why I was mad when.
We get it. It's what we were all told. We questioned it. That's why more information came out. They also seen that the attention you were getting and the amount of money that was being poured in. So they made it even more exciting by talking about, they fought back. And first they started off with Xana fighting back, and then, Xana started getting a lot of attention. And then you guys seemed like you were like, wait a minute, Xana's stealing from my daughter's attention. And then somehow they helped you out. Your daughter's the one that fought back too. No, Ethan didn't fight back, and nothing about Maddie fighting back. No, just a bounce back and forth competition between Xana and your daughter, Kaylee. Yeah. So first we hear Xana fought back. I mean, that was believable. Okay? And then we hear your daughter fought back. But we didn't hear it at all. All we got is, she was sleeping. They were surprised. They were shocked. She was found sitting up, leaning up against a corner. Nothing about her face being messed up yet. Then all of a sudden they added, her face was unrecognizable. Here's 100% proof. You all didn't see the body. But they're talking in circles so they can leave that open. But you'll see how she stutters when she gets to that part. Like, it almost seems like she's going to say she hasn't seen the body. And she stutters.
I found out there was more to it, but I wasn't lying when I said that. That's exactly what it was told to me as.
For years, we had what Kathy Mabbitt told us, the coroner, on the phone, and Kaylee's death certificate. For years, that's what we had. And we never added to that. We never said that.
See how she changed it? And then as soon as she changed it, he's smiling. They never seen their daughter's body. They never seen Maddie's body. They didn't see any. I think the only person. Oh, damn it! Why is this notification happening? Dismiss. I think the only family member that may have seen their child's body is Miss Chapin. None of the families are making sure that their face is up here. And another reason why Christy says, we can't talk about the other kids. It's not our place, is because the family asked them to stay out of it. Do not mention them. Or they would sue the pants off of these guys. Should they mention them in their in their little cause of fame. So that's why she's not allowed to mention them. She says, oh, it wasn't my concern or whatever. Oh, yeah, okay. But you speak for the family, right? Right, Steve G? And they told your ass to go fuck yourself. Yes, they did.
More happened to Kaylee.
And then when we got the autopsy report, we're like, we just learned all these new facts, and they're like, you guys said you already knew. So things can get confusing, and that's what happens when you lose the leadership of a courtroom.
No. Things can get confusing because you guys act like you seen the body. You act like you went and identified your child. You're a lying ass motherfucker. Like, listen, I do feel bad if anything did happen to Kaylee, but what I have seen, what you guys have done, always just seemed like you were working her in. I didn't see anything that was definite for her. I also seen how you were spending your money. You know the trips, the big rock. You know, so your son can engage Olivia. You know, Chronicles of Olivia. Oh, that's a big ass rock. The new houses, Airbnbs, so you can make more money. New house in Puerto Rico. So yeah, people have found that. You know, when shit was dry about the Brian case, nobody was feeding us anything. People found all this. That's another reason why people started thinking about the WhatsApp program. That maybe you know about it, or maybe you're the one that's setting it up to make it look like something happened to your daughter so you can hide your daughter because you know you fucked up and they wanted your daughter. You probably had to pay something. Listen, I doubt Christy knows anything. I mean, the poor woman knows nothing. It's whatever dealings you're doing. Or maybe you know that there was an accident that wasn't meant to happen. Your actions are why we feel the way that we feel, or at least me.
With professionals that dedicate 6-7 years to be educated into these matters and explain it.
Like real, a real journalist, not somebody that's sitting in their basement,
What, a real journalist? Who are you sitting with? Brian Entin? Isn't he a real journalist? Yeah, he talks about pro burgers. Okay? Are you fucking kidding me? He's not asking any questions. He's not at all confused about the information coming out. Look at where they're looking when they lie, guys. Body language. So, I am looking for the channels that have the body language guy. See if they're at all gonna critique this. We need a body language professional. Look at this. You can't face him, can you? You can't face Brian Entin. See, I can see in Brian Entin's face that he's looking for more information. On the side, I think he really is investigating. He's just not showing it. I think he's really trying to, I'm also wondering, does he still work for News Nation? I have a feeling he may have gotten fired. I think Brian Entin doesn't work for News Nation anymore. I think sometimes they may call him up, but I also think Ashley Banfield may not be working for News Nation either. I think something's up with that. Because I noticed they both started their own channels. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. So, him having his own channel, why is he acting as if he's on their side? We're all crazy. Let me help you. Let's get the public to stop looking into this. What is it y'all know? Or is Brian Entin studying you? Because he's supposed to be a real journalist. But if he truly feels confused or the way he does, as he says, how is he a real journalist? But hold on. You know I said go fuck yourself. I see in his face that he is watching their body language. He's being careful of his words because he doesn't want these guys to never do an interview with him. But he's listening to them. He's recording everything. I have a feeling that he's like us. He's just not public about it. I just have a feeling. Just from his facial expressions.
Team of seasoned lawyers. You know, these people are there for a reason because they're experts. And you can't reproduce that with just some random Joe Blow that's making. A good example of how ridiculous this is and what we've been fighting is people are getting records with our children's dead bodies in there and the actual room, blood, guts, and all. And then they put their little watermark on it, and we're not even allowed to use it. And we don't have the original doc, so we don't know if it's even true.
Okay, piece of shit. Hey, did you know that you can reach out to these content creators and they'll give you a copy, okay? They'll give you a Google copy of it, a Google Drive. Okay? So what? The state took it off their site and you never got to see it. Oh, and you can't use it because people put their logo on it. I agree with you. Why are people putting the logo on it? Listen, I agree with you. That is a piece of shit move. But you can still contact the content creator and say, look, I would like a copy if you don't mind. And can you not put your logo all over it? Because that's pretty nasty. I know that these content creators just getting to have a connection with you, they will repost. They'll take that off. They'll repost their stuff. And they'll keep that on private. They will respect you. Just reach out to them and say, hey, I think this is kind of tasteless. This isn't nice. I would like to be able to use this material, but I don't want to use the material if your logo is all over it or your watermark. I don't think that's fair because you're forcing me to support your channel and you're forcing people to support your channel. That's not right. And then you have channels that support that shit because that's just what they do in order to help each other grow. You got a group of them that do that. It is fucked up. I agree with you. 100% it's fucked up. I almost fell for that too, where I almost felt like I had to do the same thing. But I realized that is not appropriate, so I stopped. And I only put my watermark on whatever I create only. But I even left a message with Brian Entin. I left a message on your Facebook. If you want all those pictures that you missed, you can go to Jules. She has it uploaded. I have it uploaded. There's I think Christy Chaos has it. There's a lot of content creators that have it. All right. And if you watch my channel, which I have my stuff on private because out of respect, I'm not, I'm not going crazy over the crime scene. Only a couple things do I point out. So my channel may not be helpful for you. But there are channels that don't have their logo all over it. They don't have their streaming channel pictures and stuff all over it. And their chat all over the damn thing. And so you can find it. I know that you can. If you can't, you can reach out to Jules True Crime She'll be more than happy to make sure you get everything. Christy Chaos, Connor. She doesn't have a lot, or he, I don't know if it's a he or she. They don't have a lot of subscribers, but they have just about everything from body cam, pictures, you name it. I'm sure there's other channels that have it too. So if you have what they need, guys, hop over to Brian Entin, introduce your channel, say, look, if they want a copy, we have it for them. Reach out to our email in our profile, and we'll give them whatever it is that they don't have, so they can use it in on their platform. We are more than willing to give it to you. We're more than willing. We captured it for a reason. Not only are we questioning it, we don't know that if you're receiving it or if you're getting word, but apparently you're coming up last on everything. Now, here's another thing, Steve, I want you to know. Did you know that you are the only family member that is surprised about all this leak? You're the only, because they already got it. They got everything. You're the only family member they didn't give shit to. That's why you're up here. You have been singled out by all the family members, probably except for Maddie's family. You have been singled out. Xana's family and Ethan's family, they don't want you talking about them. They want nothing to do with you. They don't want nothing to do with Maddie's mom. Or nothing. And there's a reason for that. Also, they're not up on the platform freaking out about the pictures or anything. I mean, they're doing the right thing. They went into the court. Hey, you showed a picture of my son. Everybody thinks that's Xana. Now, if you look at the court papers that they're suing for that release, the only thing they showed was Maddie and Ethan. That is another reason why all you see suing is Maddie's family or parent and the Chapin. They never showed your child. Out of all the pictures, there was never released, not even a skin, not even a piece of hair. Nothing for Xana either. That's why there's no family member suing for Xana. Because you guys think that's Xana on the floor. It is not Xana on the floor. And the reason why they released that, Steve, is because they wanted us to see that. They wanted us to really... There is a whistleblower making the mistakes. They're doing it on purpose. It's called a whistleblower. The only way they're going to get the truth out is if they make accidents. But you're too damn fucking closed-minded. You can't fucking catch it. And there's too many fucking stupid-ass content creators out there just because they said they found Xana on the floor. And in a 911 call, they don't mention anything about Ethan. It has to be Xana. Hello? Everything was made up, including the 911 call. You listen to that 911 call, and we could hear your voice, Steve. We can. Or a man who sounds just like you. But they're looking what's supposed to be Xana and supposed to be Ethan, and they turn around and whisper, oh, poor Kaylee. They didn't go to the third floor. None of them did. But they whisper, poor Kaylee. Not poor Xana. Not poor Ethan. Not poor Maddie. Poor Kaylee. They're calling a 911 for an individual who's passed out. Who would have told them to do that? Unless it's an officer or some authority of some sort there directing them, hey, we want you to do it this way. Otherwise, there's going to be reporters here. We won't be able to control the scene. Here's another thing. 22 King. Well, you've seen how hard it was for an Uber driver or a DoorDash to make a delivery because that's Queen Road. How's it a King Road? You get it? And you guys have two addresses that you could switch on Google? Yeah, you could fuck around anybody on Google because you actually own two addresses. I don't know if you do, but whoever owned the house did. The back of the house was considered king. The front of the house was considered queen. But with them switching it back and forth, or the court saying you could only have one address, okay, or report for one address, they chose queen. Every time there was an officer that had to go there for noise complaints, they said Queen Road. They never said King. The only time they called that King Road is when they did that 911 call, guys, and said that there's a passed out individual. Yeah, clap your hands. How is there a passed out individual when there's blood all over the damn place? How? There's a fight for Xana. Xana's fighting for her life. Where's her blood? Where's all her stuff? She should be bleeding out. I mean, that floor should be covered. Carpet should be covered. No, that's excess blood. When the blood starts clotting. Yeah, so why not hire a blood expert to help you understand those scenes before you judge us as pro burgers? No, we are concerned here if there is an innocent man going to prison and you guys have ruined his life because he's different. There's a huge motherfucking concern, and thank God for that. However, there's also a concern that what if he may not have had a hand in doing it, but had been there. And he knows who has the hand in it. We're concerned. Nobody's a pro burger. What we are is trying to protect our rights in the future to be innocent before proven guilty. So what I say to all three of y'all is go fuck yourself when you say pro burgers. Go fuck yourself. I think that's when all my empathy just walks right out the fucking door for you. Not one family member comes up, does an interview like this. Fucking grow the fuck up. Come on. We ain't done yet?
And we're sitting here trying to figure out, is this AI? Is this real? What's going on? Is this even a true thing? Because we haven't...
AI, real? Don't forget, a lot of those videos, some of them don't even look real. They look like AI generated fucking videos. The Grubhub looks like somebody placed the girls there. Then look at the fucking date for the Grubhub. And I call it Grubhub truck, okay? That's what I call it. And I showed you in a live event that 09 is 9 o'clock at night. It is not 1 in the morning. It is on the 13th at night, Sunday night, not Saturday night where it turns into Sunday morning. It's not, that time stamp is nowhere near, okay, 1, 2, or 3 in the morning. It is 9 o'clock at night. I even showed you guys the military time. It doesn't equal to 1 o'clock in the morning or 1 anything or 2 in the morning. And nobody's taking account for that. Nobody's like, hey, something's not right with the timestamp. No, they're just playing it away. Oh, look who's coming here. Look who's leaving. Everything matches perfectly except for Maddie and Kaylee because they look very translucent. They look like they have been added to the scene, including the hoodie guy, but I'm not sure about the hoodie guy. But those two look like they were added to the video. The Corner Club. I don't know if it's real. With all the little redactions for everybody's fucking face, which is retarded, we got to see everybody's face with the Grubhub. Why are you redacting everyone's face? I think it's because it's another angle that we didn't get to see from a store, a couple of stores, angles that we didn't see at the Grubhub truck. And all they did was AI it to make it look like they were at the Corner Club. And I also showed in a live event what the Corner Club really looks like, where the countertops are. You know, the Corner Club isn't even that big. So yeah, are they AI images? Here's another thing, Steve. What if those images are from the set that they have created to create the movie? And it's not the real images of what actually happened in the house. What if nothing happened in the house? And the only thing that's wrapped up in that blanket like a burrito is a little pig. And the blood spread all over the bed and the side of the bed and on the floor is a pig. To make the scene look real. And none of these kids are dead. They're all in witness protection. What if... Did you get to identify the body? Because I bet you didn't. I know that if you watch this, if this ever gets to you, you're going to get up on another interview and you're going to lie. You're going to lie because you know I'm right. You're going to say you identified the body. And boy, we're going to be all over you when you do that. And you're going to tell us you didn't know the extent of her wounds? You didn't know her face was caved in? You finally get to see a picture of someone a little messed up that has stripes on her face. A picture, but I don't think you've seen the body. I bet you couldn't even identify that body in the picture. I think you just went with the story that they were gagged and then something hit her face that left stripes on her face, or she was gagged with something that left stripes. Are you sure that's your daughter? Idaho's a little scary, isn't it? Now, here's the thing. I am not saying it's not her. I am not saying you didn't lose your child. What I'm saying is how you act, all the evidence that they gave us, had me question. Are you guys lying? Had a lot of people question it. Made a lot of us look fucking crazy. And you continue doing that. It's kind of like you want to label and attack us as mentally ill. And then come after us or have the law come after us. When we are trying to help. But I'm sorry, Steve, every single time we ask questions, every single time we look into something, it just keeps falling on you. Oh, we're not done because we gotta observe your daughter, her behavior that night, where she can't even get off that fucking phone. She can't get off the phone. Who is she expecting? Why did she make sure her best friend had the best night of her life? Was drunk, toasted, and everything. What did she know? And only you know that, Steve. I know that your wife doesn't know, but oh my God, if she ever found out what you know, you ain't gonna have no damn marriage. I'm gonna tell you that.
Been even given a copy yet, and they're not going to give us a copy. And if we go and share theirs, we're actually violating the law, even though it's our kids. Freaking,
you're not. How are you violating the law? You can share anybody's stuff. You give them the credit. That's all they want. People just want credit. They want you to share their video. They want to know that you're watching their channel. Yeah, as soon as you mention that you're watching their channel, their views go sky high. Okay, then subscribers roll in like they'll go from being at maybe 3,000 all the way up to 17 or 18,000 or 25 just because you mentioned their channel. And really, that's all they want. But I'm with you that some are riding the gravy train. I am with you on this. I'm not upset. I witnessed it, how they push because they want to keep the gravy train going. I've witnessed it. I'm watching. I get it. But at the same time, I think you should just pay attention and listen. You can tell when somebody is just a fucking entertaining clown. Okay? Compared to somebody who's really doing investigative work. You can tell the difference.
Case, it's
Well, we can get them, but a lot of these documents, we don't even know where they're coming from. We're going to the entities that we know have been putting them out, and they're not there. They're, we're like, where did this person that has this watermark even get this document? Like, is it from ISP? Is it from Moscow? Is it from Ada County? Like, where's it coming from? And, we're not even able to see that. And we were always held under the impression.
Only you guys. Because I promise you the other families have it. They probably got it way before us. They probably got it when we got it. It's just something about you guys. That's why they're treating you differently for a reason. As soon as you start talking about them protecting the murderer or the psychopath, you really should think about what you're saying, because they're protecting him for a reason.
That autopsy results were not going to be released, that those were protected by HIPAA. And this is something Bill Thompson told us. Why we believe Bill Thompson, who knows? It was one thing that I guess we held on to, that maybe he was telling the truth about.
$20,000.
But we listened to him. And so when those came out last Friday,
it was news to us.
It was news to us.
Did you know everything in those?
Okay, so I have to talk through it because, again, this is not my content. Like I said, I want you guys, if you watch Netflix, to go to look for Sheldon. I forgot the name. Hold on. I might have taken it off. Yeah, I did. I took it down. It's Sheldon something. It's a little genius boy. Okay, and I want you guys to watch it. Because right now, they may not allow us, because of the HIPAA law, or they may not allow you to see, the findings they had for Brian. It's going to come out because they're going to use it to free him, or to clear his name, or to help change the criminal law system that would help the individuals that suffer from whatever it is you don't know about. Now, true experts, put out information, and guys, make sure they get it. All right. Expressing they feel that sheaf was staged, that some of the scenes in that house was staged, the bodies were staged. You need that. So any of the content creators that have been reading the documents, which I have not. I mean, I have read them. I didn't download this one. Like, there's two of them I didn't download. I'm just kind of watching it from Pavarotti, Jewels of All Trades, Grizzly True Crime, a few others. You guys do an excellent job reading these documents. Very helpful. And they point out They're fighting back and forth about the evidence. That's why also the prosecution's evidence kept changing, because they see that the real people are questioning, real experts are questioning this stuff. Why aren't you questioning it? So again, content creators, you need to reach out to them, get them that part of the paperwork. If you really want Steve G and his family to not call you crazy, not call you pro burger, if it's true that you're not in it for the fucking gravy train, get a hold of them, get them that information that they don't have. Get it to them. They need everything. I don't understand why they don't have it. Why their attorney is not making sure that they receive it. Also, Steve G and the family need to know that they got to pay for a lot of stuff. The FOIA requests, they got to pay. Any of the content creators that have received those donations and already got the FOIA stuff, help them. I know they have money. I know they can go and purchase it themselves, but I don't think they're intelligent enough to know what to do. I'm not trying to put you down when I say that, and I'm not going to try and put myself down, but I'm the same way. It's either I can't afford to pay for their FOIA requests, and also at the same time, I don't know how to properly ask for it. I don't know the proper words, the proper letter writing skills. I don't know how to do that. Nor do I have the support to go order it. And I'm grateful to all the channels who do that. I'm more grateful for the channels that don't slap their logo all over everything. So, yeah. That's why I think that you should reach out to Jules. I know Jules will give you everything. She's not biased. She's not upset like I am. Okay? And she wants you to be aware of what we are aware of before judging us and calling us names.
I mean,
no, those details are completely different than the coroner's report.
Well, the coroner, but we do have our house report. I don't think any of us that we got the day of sentencing on a thumb drive. We got
Kaylee's 41 page.
And I don't think that any of us, I know I haven't have actually like combed through it, and just been like, it's not easy to do. That's not something that.
See, that's what I go through. Just like Christy said. That's my problem. That's another reason why I watch Pub, or I watch Jules, or I watch, the other channels when they talk about Outcast, Harsh Reality, even the channels I fucking don't like, okay, I think are fucking clown bitches, but I watch them too, because they have a certain perspective that I may not have thought of. You get it? So maybe, Christy, you should take the time. Christy, if you truly believe you're going through what's happened, your daughter is gone, and what happened to her is true, okay? Go through it. Because you really need to make sure that you can sleep at night knowing that you truly have the right man, or that there's none, that he may have accomplices out there. Okay? He may be a part of something that Brian probably didn't expect was going to go down. You need to also learn a little bit more about different people, different illnesses, and I think that maybe watching that program on Netflix might help you. Just in case if Brian at all carried some of those traits. I'm not saying he's like this young genius and he's in grades that much higher than his age. I'm not saying nothing like that. He may not even be that intelligent, but he had some type of intelligence, some type of high IQ that made him completely different from the rest of the people. It made him very hard for him to find a way to fit in, meet girls, stuff like that. Weird. You know, a lot of us go through it. And we're judged.
You know, we've done, and it's a little different when you're like seeing this stuff on, you know, on the internet, and now, you know, it's being talked about.
Just be honest. Even if we did get that, which we did get a 21-page thing.
I'm just saying we didn't go through it.
It didn't have the other victims, and the whole totality of what this individual did when they're asking us to make a plea deal. We didn't get that.
That's what I was wondering. I mean, do you think that you and the other families should have? Because when I was just reading, I was on vacation, so I just now read through the new documents, and you guys know I've covered this story and the case and everything inside and out. But like seeing the number of wounds on all of the kids
was enraging.
Takes on another, and I mean, and it's not pictures; it's just the words.
Yeah.
Of it. And when you see in parentheses like 24.
Okay, I've seen it, right? And if they're not lying, guys, did you look at the scene outside? So here's the worst part about not being able to see the bodies and how they're found. I know it's gory. I know it's not right. We should be able to see it if we're curious about it. To rest our minds that those kids are really gone and not in a WITSAC program. Otherwise, this conspiracy is going to go on forever. It can be noted when they do put it out that you can be sued if you use it on any platform. Making it so that, yes, the public can see it, they can talk about it, but they can never show it. The court has all the power in the world to reach out to the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, to make sure that they comply to flag any channel that shows this information. You can also redact a little bit of it, but give us a view. Unfortunately, nobody believes that your daughter's gone. I don't. Okay? Nobody believes that maybe Xana's gone, especially after looking at the crime scene in the house. However, when you see the crime scene outside of the house, in the back and the side where the boulders are, I showed you pictures, and the front, there is a crime scene. And you can tell there was a cleanup out there. There is a crime scene. And because of what we see out there, we can definitely tell all of them, every one of them, it all happened outside, except for possibly Ethan. But I still think that Ethan was tortured and everything outside also. I still think that whatever they did to him in that bedroom, maybe he was still fighting for his life. Might have been like half in, half out. That's a lot of blood clots. That's postpartum wounds. That's postpartum blood clots. I'm just saying that they're pretty chunky. Already clotted. So like I said, the best way to talk about that is if I can also find a blood analyst willing to come up on my panel. So comment, let me know, we'll schedule it. But Christy and Steve, don't act like you don't know nothing and you don't have information. Lie about it. Then sitting there and say, oh, well, we didn't go through everything. and then act like you don't receive it before everybody else. Come on, you probably already have it. You probably have a copy of everything, and you didn't go through it.
Or the different the number of wounds, like it takes on a different feeling, the whole thing.
It's a different reality.
Yeah.
It's a new reality because now you're becoming aware. And to hide those things from the parents is disgusting. They hid that from us. And that was just our own child, let alone all the children together and say, we're gonna ask you to make a plea deal right now. And here's 21 pages of a PDF. How much time do you need to read this to make this decision? It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think we were privy to the other kids' information.
We were not.
We were not.
That's the whole point.
I didn't need to know what happened to the other kids to make our decision on how we felt, wanting the death penalty in a trial. So,
and she's gonna say something, and you're gonna realize that the families did not want them speaking for them.
But learning about that stuff was very hard, and there were things that, having it, like boom, here it is on the internet, and social media outlets are talking about it and going over each and every little one that catch your attention. I learned things that I was not aware. So I just learned some new things that happened to Kaylee last week.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, if my daughter would have been killed while she was sleeping, it would have been described the way it was first described, and I would have learned what happened to Xana, I wouldn't have given them the deal.
Okay, so Steve and Christy, as calm as I can say this, I agree. I don't understand how that went down without any type of, without a judge saying, hey, can you at least, for me to approve this, can you at least give us a reason why you did it? Or how did you do it? What weapons did you use? So I agree with you. But Steve, they're protecting him because everything is against him, including you. There's a reason why the judge did not push. Maybe that's something you should look into.
Just off of what he did to that girl alone, let alone all of them together, the totality of everything. It was outrageous to hide what happened to these victims. Like that girl.
You mean the fact that she was like standing up in the room and everything?
She went through everything that she went through.
The reason why they did that is because they were studying us. Every single time we caught their asses in a lie when we questioned something, or even the experts in the documentation questioned something, what did they do? They kept changing the story. They kept releasing something to debunk, the theories. So what happened, guys, when I put out my 3D animation? It took a bit before this to happen. They found a way to get you guys to believe that the perp is chasing Xana from upstairs all the way to her room, when there's no evidence of that. The only evidence that they have is cast off for Maddie and Kaylee's blood. There's a little bit of blood over there on the corner for Xana. But that's all that they're reporting, as far as I know. They're not reporting on the rest of the blood splots because they didn't even check it. I hope I'm making some sense to you. So when I put out the animation for Entin, and what I think happened with Xana leaving her key in the car, and how that went down, and where your daughter probably was attacked, what did they do? So now all of a sudden those blood splats on the wall are Kaylee's. Oh, and that maybe Dylan's right. She heard Kaylee running down the stairs in order to get that, blood splat the way, that happened. The cast off like it happened. Well, here's the thing. There should be more. So I thought about it. Yeah, a blunt force object hitting your daughter's face. somebody coming around the corner and just boof, and then boof again. Could splat that far, but it should also splat even in the hallway. That one wall there, it should also cast off within the hallway. And on top of the hallway, like the doorway area up there, almost close to the ceiling, it should be cast off there too. Because this object, if it's let's say it's a golf club, is going to have a little bit more cast off than those 3 items that they said was Kaylee. If it is a revolver, again, with a revolver hit, it's not going to cast off as far as it did. It needs to be a wider swing. All right, so a revolver hit is direct. And then a direct again. Not usually swing like a bat. You need an object that swings like a bat for it to fly off to the walls over the steps. And it wouldn't just be the 3.
That should have been honored with not a deal. You don't deal with the worst people in your society unless you're just a weak prosecutor who's looking to run out the exit. I mean, you have DNA on the...
There you go, Steve. He was running out the exit because they busted him. They're busted. So instead of making it public on the corruption that this man has been involved in for years, okay, they allowed him to retire. The reason why they're not going to open up what he did wrong, what he was a part of, is because it would open up a lot of cases. It would overwhelm the court system now that they got to free people that probably shouldn't even be on the street. Dangerous motherfucking people. All because Bill Thompson is a part of corruption. Using judges, what judge retires at an early age? Are you kidding me? We don't know what he's doing with his life. He's just retired and he's fishing. He's an actor. Not a real judge. Yeah, looking into that? I know I did. I did Truth Finder. He is a notary. And he has a license to marry people. Okay? If it got out that Thompson could actually place judges that shouldn't even be judges in a criminal case. They're judges, but they're not criminal judges. In order to human traffic people, to be informants, to do stuff for them, in order to lighten their sentences, using whatever they found on them against them, because, like blackmail. How many cases would be open, would need to be investigated? Should they have let that go public? I mean, do you realize that the Innocence Project would go? Well, they would be overwhelmed. They would have cases and cases. They'd be jumping on board. People. They would have to free these individuals because Bill Thompson, whatever the hell, was in his position for how many years and nobody took his position? How many fucking years? How much control he had over his own community the police company, the police individuals. He's got them trained to go after young adults who are, they know better than to have an open can or even a closed can in their hand in public. That's why they have backpacks. Did you see the backyard and inside the house with the backpacks? They're all empty. They look like somebody emptied everything in those backpacks. You got cans all over the place, liquid being thrown everywhere, like they were spilling out all the drinks in that house, as if they noticed that there were underage drinkers. We seen it happen on private property when they're going there for a noise complaint and they're pouring out all the beer that they left outside because they were underage. That's why they didn't touch that beer. They left it because the two boys were underage. They weren't even 21 yet. So what did they do? They opened up those cans and they started pouring them out right there in front of the cars. They are on private property. They're not even supposed to touch that stuff. Police corruption, mister, is why they are protecting Brian. Look into it. Observe. How would you feel if an officer came on your private property and started messing with what you have on your private property? Breaking it, ruining it, littering on your private property. They could have confiscated that beer instead of pouring it out. That's littering. Isn't littering against the motherfucking law? Hello? Yeah, Steve? Why did they retire Judge? Why did they retire most of these officers? Why did they retire Bill Thompson? Oh, yeah, he was old enough for retirement. Yeah, he was already supposed to retire, right? Why did they let him retire and then not reprimand this motherfucker for what he has done? How about that?
In the crime scene. I mean, the FBI gave it to you like a gift and you want to refuse to use it? I can't accept that. And I told him this. I told him this before he made his deal. I will not back you. And if you want to go there, but you will not have our support.
Yeah. Did you get any warning? Or I read a few different things. Like when those photos came out from ISP, like did they call you guys first?
Yes. Olivia got a call for whatever reason. They called Olivia and they said, we just want to give you a heads up. These are going to be dropping within the next couple hours on the ISP page. Okay. So by the time she got off the phone, there was a 12-minute phone call. By the time she got off the phone and went to ISP, they were already there. So she saw, she got a hold of me. She saw very quickly there were some, very
questionable.
Not questionable, just there were victims in the pictures, and she got a hold of them in there. She was like, there are victims in the pictures here, and they took it down. But in the meantime, whoever
Christy, why are you giving your daughter all the kudos? Jules of all trades is the one that contacted them right away, called them and everything after she seen it. She was the first person to see it. She was the first person who even showed it on social media. She's the first person that screamed and yelled about it. Not Christy. You are a motherfucking liar. You just said a moment ago that people have photographs of the scene of the crime, using it for money, putting their logo on it. You can't use it because their logo's on it and you're going to be breaking the fucking law. Busted, another motherfucking lie. Okay? Busted. So now if your daughter Olivia received all that stuff, What? And that she's the one that called and said, wait a minute, there's bodies all up in here. You lied. You lied. So it's bullshit that you're sitting there saying, okay, we can't use this because people got their logos on it. It's bullshit. Because you can use it. There's no logos on your fucking copies, is there? No, I believe Christy got it afterwards. But the person who you need to thank for them pulling that shit right off of the off their website is Jules of All Trades True Crime. Or True Crime discussion. Jules. She's the one you should thank. Your daughter did shit. Again, you're trying to make it seem like your daughter's a goddamn hero. You're a lying ass. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts, guys. Open mind perspective sees the lies. Look at the direction she's going. This is called story fucking telling with your eyeballs. Storytelling. Where's she looking? To the right or to the left? Whenever you're looking to tell a lie or create a story, boom. Your daughter is not the reason why they pulled those photographs down.
Got those pictures. You know what I'm saying?
And now they're making money off of them. It's disgusting.
But the autopsy results that came out on Friday, all
right, number one, you guys expressed it. You wanted to use it on your platform too. But you can't because people put their logo or watermark all over it. But you're sitting there saying that they're doing it for the money? Sorry. I keep phlegming up and I can't get it to stop. I'm not sick. It's just fucking phlegm constantly. No matter what I do, I'm getting attacked by phlegm. It reminds me of the movie The Blob, but it's inside my body. Alright? It's trying to suffocate me. And it's just staying right around where I gotta breathe. You can't swallow it. It's driving me nuts. It keeps getting thicker and thicker. You can't blow it out the nose because it won't go to the nose. It's just fucking goober that won't leave your throat. Jesus Christ. Alright, but back to brass taxes. Sorry about all the blowing the nose thing. I know a lot of people are not feeling good either. And there's nothing I could do. I want to do my live event, okay? But hello, Christy. Hello, Steve. Making money? There's content creators that are not making a dime. Like me. And I showed some of it. I didn't show all of it. I didn't want to be rude. I'm trying to be respectful. But the gravy train ladies and the gravy train men, I believe you're right. You got the gravy train out there. The gravy trainers. And you know who they are because they put their name and their logo all over everything, right? You're making so much money off of the lies you guys spewed, okay? Or that the state helped you spew. You're making so much money off your child's unaliving, it's not funny. And how much more money do you need to make? When you want to sit there and put content creators down who are questioning, who are trying to help? I understand if you say, hey, why are you putting your name and logo on stuff that's not yours? I get it. Oh, I understand. But let me tell you why they're doing it. It's because they're trying to get noticed. They're trying to get the views, grow their channel. They're trying to be noticed. And if everybody's using the same material, nobody knows who if they went and got it themselves or if they got it from another channel. They know that if they put their name and logo on everything, that whoever uses their stuff has to give them credit, even though they didn't do anything unique with it. I agree with you, it's wrong. I'm 100% beside you on how sick that is. It took me some time to realize that. So not a lot of people understand that, and they feel that, hey, I put it out first, I did that. I used to think like that. And then I would get subscribers say, put your logo on it, put your logo on it. It's not my material. Like if I created an awesome video like true crime design or Nice Peaks, like a real storyline video, yeah, I could do that. But I all I'm doing is going over the pictures. I'm showing the photos. I'm not doing anything unique with it. No, it is not right to slap your name, your watermark all over it. And yes, I have done it, but I never knew or understood why it's not appropriate. Hopefully people learn, like I have.
Still don't even know where those actually came from. I don't know if we figured it out.
But
I don't
they're
know.
watermarks, so be
Last
careful
week-
if you share.
You
it.
mean the only autopsy results I saw were in those 155 pages released by the court? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Where
Yes.
it just kind of details the different wounds.
Oh, before we go on, I'm going to rewind that for a minute. Another thing, Steve and Christy, if we were to take our logo watermarks off of all the old stuff, we have to repost. There are assholes out there that like to do copyright strikes. Okay? And we want people to come to our channel and look at the stuff, yet some people have made those mistakes of putting their watermark logos on it. Like I said, I've done it too. I'm not perfect. And yes, I've learned from it. But when we go to correct ourselves, repost, the problem is we lose our timestamp. We lose our fight if somebody wants to copyright us. And yeah, crime community has become a really dangerous fucking stomping ground. It's called like the YouTube streets now. And people are in so much competition with each other. It's so nasty. So hopefully me talking about it helps content creators in the future understand that your logo, your name, really shouldn't be on something you did not create. Start thinking about that. I get you want to be known. I was the same way. You want people to share your channel. You want people to constantly come to your channel and look at what you have, because they may not have seen the other channels. They may not be following the other channels. And you want to be the place to go. I get it. But this family is correct. You're putting your fucking name, logo on stuff that don't even belong to you. That's fucked up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they cite their official autopsy results and whatnot, and there's some very detailed
It's personal
descriptions in there.
Anybody put yourself in our shoes. If you went and did like an application and you did like a drug test or you did some kind of background check, that shouldn't be public information.
Yeah.
And a killer shouldn't say, because we've asked for his records and they tell us for HIPAA, we can't share his mental evaluation. So he can kill my daughter, steal her rights to her protection because now she's dead, so she gets no protection. So you guys can all share my daughter's records because this guy killed her, but we can't see his records. That's against the rules.
All right, Steve. Education. Time to educate the Steve. Educate. Okay. All right. Number one, we, under HIPAA, regardless if your daughter is dead or alive, we cannot look at any records, medical records from the past, or any records of her having any learning disability, mental illness, of anything. Still today, we're not allowed to know any of that. All right, so HIPAA protects your personal information. All right, what's personal about you? Your medical records is personal. All right, crime scene photos, crime scenes, or even the story about what happened to your child is public. There's a complete difference. All right, so just educating you. You should look up what HIPAA is about, why HIPAA is important, and what does HIPAA protect? Because there's no HIPAA law when it comes to public knowledge, public right to information. And medical records are not public. They never was, they never will be, unless they make it that way themselves. If they want to talk about it and they want to release it, that's different. I may not express this right, but I'm sure another content creator will be able to be more articulate.
And the photos, I don't understand why people would want to publish the photos. The wounds, I felt like it was important for people to know. Like you said, I mean, no one really, it hits you in a different way when you read that. What happened to all of them, you know? And
see, he even admits he wanted to see it too. You can't be mad that we're curious. And you can't be mad that we all want to talk about it. We want to show it and have a conversation about it. You cannot be fucking mad. So, guys, don't worry. We are going to watch Kaylee's movement after this, okay? And I want to point out to you that Kaylee was not acting like everybody else. That girl did not get off that phone. What was she doing? What does she know?
Like, just what? I don't know. It felt, that to me felt important. I don't think anybody knew.
And that's why I always felt like as a family, we were transparent about things that happened to Kaylee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't go through as like a medical examiner and go down the line of what had happened, but you know, we felt that we told the world what happened to Kaylee, like in its totality. We can't speak on the other victims. We didn't know.
No, hold on. You only were telling us what they were telling you, little at a time. Now, here we go.
Oh, about the other victims. And that's not our place to speak, but right away,
right there.
I always felt like as a family, we were transparent about things that happened to Kaylee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't go through as like a medical examiner and go down the line of what had happened, but you know, we felt that we told the world what happened to Kaylee, like in its totality. We can't speak on the other victims. We didn't know about the other victims, and that's not our place to speak. But right away,
when she says it's not our place to speak, let me tell you, if the families did not sit there and say, "Hey, can you keep your mouth from talking about my child?" she wouldn't have said that. They were put in their place. Now, I'm sure that they still have permission for Maddie But I don't, from the Maddie's mother and stepfather, but I don't think they had permission from the real dad for Maddie to be talking shit or even to mention Maddie. But as long as they have the mother's permission and the stepfather, they can. But they do not have permission to talk about Xana or Ethan. And that family will never let them even talk for them at all. So that's why she said it's not her place. Because they told her it's not your fucking place. They warned them, don't add that to your scheme or we will sue you.
We found out that, Kaylee had bad face damage and missing teeth and a broken nose and brain bleeds.
We found out. Not that you saw the body. You found out eventually that all this was happening. You didn't see your own child's body. So the only person who claimed that she even seen photographs is your daughter. That she went down there to talk to somebody to see photographs or to understand what the wounds were. And they told her some of them were, they seem experimental. You never seen your daughter's body. Listen carefully. She leaves it open so they can lie later once we catch them. I bet you they'll lie about it, say they seen their child's body, but they didn't. And if they never go there, that's my solid proof. That's why I'm bringing it up. I want it to come out your damn mouth that you seen your child's body. Because I know that the world's going to prove you as a fucking liar. It's going to be you're going to be made a fool of. However, she's watching her choice of words, guys. Listen.
I always felt like as a family, we were transparent about things that happened to Kaylee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't go through as like a medical examiner and go down the line of what had happened, but we felt that we told the world what happened to Kaylee, like in a totality. We can't speak on the other victims. We didn't know about the other victims, that's not our place to speak. But right away, when we found out that, Kaylee had bad face damage and missing teeth and a broken nose and brain bleeds, stabbed in the face all those times, we spoke on that. We spoke out about it because we felt it was important too, that people know that she wasn't just stabbed, a couple times in her sleep, which is equally as bad. I mean, I don't know if it's equally as bad, but it's bad. It's bad, So
I want people to understand when we say that these victims fought harder than Thompson defended them, I want them to read those docs, read all of them, and say, did these victims fight harder than this prosecutor fought to defend them? And I think it's pretty clear. I think even with what happened to Xana and our daughter, it was clear these guys fought, and Thompson was a weak, pathetic man.
You see how he almost said Ethan? Oh, he's not allowed to talk about Ethan. Well, he said Xana, but he's not allowed to talk about Ethan. You see how he almost said Ethan? Mm-hmm.
And he ran. So he has to own it.
The other thing I was thinking about when I was reading it was just the rage that Koberger had, there's never been any evidence, I guess, that he had it out for any of the victims, but it's just hard. It's hard to imagine this was just totally random.
It wasn't random.
It wasn't random. It was just a pathetic prosecution. So we're learning things through other, there's other laws that have to come into effect. And we've learned that he defined these things. He purposely, it was a strategy not to say that was sexually motivated, even though he was doing murder porn on his phone and they found that. And it was also purposely that he said it wasn't stalking, because that would have tied their hands. That would have tied the community's hands, where they would have had to publish that every 23 times he was out there and about, he was stalking, they would have had to put that on a.
I can agree and disagree. I will agree. You want to know why? The memorial they did not do on that property for just those 4 individuals. They did a memorial for how many students they lost. And they did it at the school. So they, instead of singling out the 4 and what they went through, no, all of them. Every single one of them. Why? It's because of what you just said. We'll rewind it in a minute. It's all about human trafficking. What did they do to these individuals that caused their life? What did they do? And I know that Pavarotti is not about, oh, the frats did this, that he's not about that. I get it. He's all about, oh, cartel. What, the cartel took out all these students? So that's for Pavarotti. Why would they do a memorial for all the students that had passed on? Is it because of something they're not telling us, overdose? And that Pavarotti's right? Or am I right that they human trafficked them and they ended up unalived? And they were staged to look like an accident or a suicide or whatever else they could come up with. One of us is right. Pavarotti's right, or me. Pavarotti stands by the cartel stuff. I stand by human trafficking.
Their hands. That would have tied the community's hands, where they would have had to publish that every 23 times he was out there and about, he was stalking. They would have had to put that on a webpage. They would have been obligated. That community, the universities, every stalking event that would have happened in Moscow would have been recorded. So he purposely decided, I'm not even going to pursue stalking because that is going to hurt the university more than if I just say, we're not even going to we're not going to go down that road. We don't need to, because I got the DNA in the.
And he's right, guys. He's right 100%. Kudos! Steve knows what's going on. I told you so. He knows. Yes, he knows. Okay? DNA. He keeps shoving the fucking DNA in our face. So not only did the prosecution did not want to use that DNA, said they did not need that DNA because they knew they were going to get busted on how they got that DNA. No, you and Ann Taylor kept pushing it. Ann Taylor wanted to bust the prosecutor. That's why she held on to it. You're holding on to it because you're the motherfucker that had somebody plant that shit. Take that shit to the bank, bitch.
Crime scene. He didn't need to. So he backed off of that stuff. But that doesn't mean he's not guilty of doing it.
So you think he saw Kaylee around, followed her around, something?
Look at the face. That doesn't mean he ain't guilty of doing it. Okay, did he tell you he did it? Huh? Did he say he had anything to do with that sheaf? Are you going to tell the world that your daughter owns one too? You know who found it? I have it posted on my channel. Seagirl. She found the information and everything that Kaylee owned. That exact knife sheath, the exact knife, never used it for any reason. That's why it's so brand fucking new. Do you now here's the thing I got to go find. You had a video talking about how you would train your daughter how to protect herself. This is when your story came out that your daughter fought for her life. So after the whole Xana thing and everybody, the internet is blowing up because they talked about how Xana fought for her life, almost lost her fingers, everything. Here you come now with your new story. Kaylee fought for her life. Then you went into the story of how you taught her how to shoot. You even showed it. You gave her a knife to protect herself as a gift. Hello? And you're not going to tell Brian Entin your daughter owns one also? Oh, of course not. Because then you know what's going to happen? It's going to free Brian. Then they're going to really look into, were you really at the hospital, buddy, for an allergic reaction? You or your son? Since you both have the same name. One's a, you both have the same name. I don't know if he carries the word junior. Hey! And then they actually put that documentation with all the how did Brian's DNA get on your daughter's sheath? Knife sheath. Your daughter's item. Your daughter, Kaylee Goncalves, owns the same fucking knife. Don't make me go look for let me go. I could look for that right now. Hold on. Hey, give me a minute. Let's find the content. Let's go to, because I know I made it. I made it public. Let's open that up. I didn't find this. Seagirl did from TikTok. I only post this because it was important information. Not stealing anybody's fucking content. It's important information. So anybody sits there and says I steal people's content, well, you're doing the exact same thing every single time you put your logo on these photographs that don't belong to you. Okay? You're doing the exact same shit. Here we go. Give me a minute. All right. Let's go. We'll be back to this. Don't worry, we ain't done. We're going to make it happen. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to make it happen. Now, listen, if anybody's talking shit on the chat or bothering you on the chat, remember you can touch their profile picture. You're allowed to block. You're allowed to report. And as long as all y'all do that, you won't have any issues. I'm ignoring it. I could care less. All right. They can talk all the shit they want because they're just embarrassing the damn selves. All right, share. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's from Seagirl, okay? However, I do hope that she watches my channel and she does a better job. One thing I do not like is how quick TikTokers are, okay? Yes, she got her logo all over it because, hey, apparently she did something unique. I don't know. But I really feel she should do a new one. Okay? Okay? Did the victim. She says did the victim. But hold on, listen.
Did one of the Idaho 4 victims own a K-bar knife? I believe so. According to these police reports, it stated that the FBI Special Agent Douglas looked into Kaylee's financial records, including one of her debit cards. Yes, through an Allen warrant service for one of her financial accounts. And they also looked for that same service where a purchase was made through Blue Ridge for a K-bar knife. Yes, folks, Special Agent Douglas was trying to find the connection between a K-bar purchase from Kaylee's debit card, and that's why they used the search warrant for both the debit card and that institution and the Blue Ridge. Check this out. The document states, quote, on December 22nd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for financial records from Elin Financial Services for Kaylee G. A blank debit card was found with Kaylee's name on it in her residence. The warrant was requested to see if any financial transactions could be located showing evidence in her unalive. FBI Special Agent Douglas assisted in the service of the warrant to Elin Financial. This is where it gets crazy, folks. On December 22nd, 2022, At approximately 1825 hours, the warrant was served via email. Continuing on to this report, a search warrant for Blue Ridge. On December 12, 2022, I applied for and was granted a warrant for sales records from Blue Ridge Knives for K-Bar. Yes, an USMC fighting knives sheath and known purchases and quantities of Blue Ridge Knives from K-Bar, including on or about 3/08/2022, the purchase of 360 units, and on or about 6/24/22, the purchase of 480 units. Blue Ridge Knives are a wholesaler for K-Bar knives and sheaths. FBI's Special Agent Douglas assisted in the service of the warrant to Elin Financial. On December 13, 2022, at approximately 07:54 hours, the warrant was served via email. On December 16, 2022, I received an email from Special Agent Douglas providing the data requested pursuant to the warrant. I downloaded the files to the forensic computers located in the secure forensic computer lab at Moscow Police Department. I completed the warrant return, receipt, and affidavit. These documents were sent to Latah County Prosecutor's Office. Now, what's interesting here, folks, is that the Elon financial records also works with Kaylee's debit card. On December 12, 2022, a search warrant was filed for Blue Ridge. Then on the 13th, the warrant was served via email. On the 16th, they received the information. Then on the 22nd, they filed for a financial services warrant specifically for Kaylee's one of her debit cards for the same financial services to find a link of if this purchase was made on her card. These are totally separate warrants from the K-Bar company and their parent company and all the purchases that were made, that list of over 1,200 individual purchases from people and businesses. Okay, this is totally separate. So once they found there was a K-Bar purchase, and through Elon Financials also had a debit card for Kaylee, and she made a purchase. Kaylee may have used her own debit card to purchase a K-Bar knife and sheath from Blue Ridge Knife Store. Yes. So the K-Bar knife and sheath may have just been hers. Keep in mind the other financial warrants for other accounts and other financial activity do not include the Elin Financial Services. Only this account for her specific debit card, that one she had, and then this Blue Ridge. The other search warrants do not include the Elon Financial Services. So if you make the connection, this purchase showed up on her debit card, on her receipt, in her financial transactional history that shows that she purchased it at Blue Ridge, probably from their online outlet store.
Okay. So you remember when Steve made a mistake and said about dropping the charges on Kaylee, and then everybody fought me and said he meant dropping the charges of Kaylee on Brian. No, they believed, and this is what they were looking at. Could Kaylee have been the unaliver? Because she owns that knife. However, could the perpetrator used her knife against her if she tried to pull it out to protect her and her best friend? Now, I ain't done, because we still got to look at the behavior. And you all have been watching the Grubhub, the Corner Club, and what is Kaylee doing constantly? So let's go back to the family before we go on to what is Kaylee doing. Or maybe we should just go on to what's Kaylee doing and then back to the parents. Let's do that. Let's look at that while I have your attention. Now this is Connor. I have already uploaded every single thing she has. Okay. Here is a really great person to go to for information. She does not slap her name or logo. Neither does Jules. Okay, unless she does a live event. Obviously, you can't get past that with the little ass window she's got going on. You can't even see anything. She's got her face there, and she's got the chat on one fucking side. But Connor doesn't get enough attention, guys, and she should. This person has gotten a FOIA request for a lot of footage. I also put in a request for Connor to try and get Eric Grower's camera footage, because Olivia says that she watched when the girls got out of that vehicle and when they went into their own house. She also watched both of the girls come out with the dog to walk the dog. Eric has that footage. So most Uber or Lyft drivers, out of safety, have a camera inside the vehicle, so it faces everybody, and facing the front of the vehicle. So whatever he or she sees outside the vehicle, they all do. So and it's out of safety reasons. Number one, if they're accused of taking them where they weren't supposed to go, he has footage of all the turns and all the places he went. Okay, so proving that he took them where they paid to go. So should anything happen to his passengers, they disappear, get kidnapped, that is to protect the proof that they need, so they don't go to jail thinking that that they're the ones that kidnapped him, they're the ones that did it. That's their proof saying, okay, this is look at my driving, look at the camera, look at them leave. You got the inside and outside. Now, if there's an incident outside the vehicle or inside the vehicle, they have proof of it. So Eric Grower, if he truly driven these girls home, truly dropped them off, truly stayed a while, like he said in his interview, to clean his car out, because there was food all over it. Remember, he's got to pick up people. He has to keep a clean car. There's reviews on these apps. If they were comfortable, was the car clean? I mean, it asks these questions. He wants to get the more like thumbs up he gets, the more that he's going to get keep the job. If he gets a lot of negative, I forgot what it's called, negative reviews, they'll fire him. So positive reviews is real important. So I did reach out to Connor and Jules of All Trades, or Jules True Crime, since she's collecting money to do the FOIA request. Connor's not. So Connor's only relying, I guess, whatever him or she makes on their channel and out of their own pocket. If I would support this channel and help raise that money for more information, more FOIA requests, more stuff. So please go here. Please subscribe to her. I will I will add her to the live event. But here we go. She has camera 1 and camera 2. So I don't know where the camera 2 is, but I'm watching camera 1. And I just want you to observe. And then tell me what's odd. Besides seeing everybody at the Grubhub is here. Everybody. Okay? Is this an AI? Okay, and then we'll look at what the Corner Club actually looks like. And then I want you to observe Kaylee. She does do interactions, but keep watching her. What is she doing with that cell phone? Why does she keep scrolling on that cell phone? Watch her. So whenever they're looking at her, talking to her, she stops on the phone. As soon as they turn their heads, everyone that she's talking to or laughing with, she is back on the phone. Watch. And one more thing too, guys. They don't show if, the people. So we don't know if Xana and Ethan are in here. We don't know if Bethany and Dylan are in here. And this very well could be Xana and Ethan. But we don't know. They just be total strangers. But because they blotted everybody's head and face like a bunch of idiots, blotted things that they don't even have to here on the table or countertop, which I'm trying to understand that too. Like what's here that they needed to hide. Okay, what's up here they needed to hide. None of it makes any damn sense. This is 45 minutes, okay? Right now, yeah, she's not on the phone. Let me get rid of the static. Alright, so I got rid of the static. But I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna watch everything, what you guys say. There are some strange things every time they move around also. So give it a minute. Alright, she jumps on the phone. I'm sorry, I didn't see the beginning. She's not on the phone as much. Maddie checks her phone. And that's what can be making her jacket heavy on one side every time she swings around. It's just a cell phone. So, what is Kaylee not doing, guys? She's not. Where's her drink? Where's Kaylee's drink, y'all? Where's her cup? Are they sharing the cup? And then her hand turns a different color. You guys remember that? Here comes the phone. Snap shooting. Snap shooting the drink, too. Trust me, it doesn't stop. Who's drinking here? I also observed the top of the head. It's dark brown or black, and all the rest of her hair is blonde, like blonde streaks. The very same thing you seen in those pictures you all thought was Dylan with the braid and being walked away by two officers. I pointed that I pointed out the hairstyle too. Lined it up, exact streaks, everything. That's why I don't believe anything happened to her. I believe that she's in witness protection. That's my belief, my opinion. Now I will keep showing you why I feel that way. She's got her phone out. Friends are coming over, hanging out, they're talking. There she is, back on the phone. She does this all night. Even at the Grubhub truck, she's constantly on the phone. Who is she communicating with? Who is she expecting later? Where's her drink? Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I only turned down the volume because of the... Maybe I'll turn it down from over here. Well, I wasn't sure if you could still hear me if I turned down my own volume. Alright, so let's see Kaylee's phone records. That's right. Thank you. So not only do we need a FOIA request for Eric's footage, we need a FOIA request for every single thing that this woman was doing on the phone. So remember, I was the one pushing that we get the light bulb camera footage from the Blue House. And thank you to Jules of All Trades for getting that for us. But somebody else was getting a couple of them already. But thank you, Jules, for paying for that and following through to get as many hours as possible. Well, now I'm pushing and begging. Do a FOIA request for Eric Grower's footage and what in the world is on Kaylee's phone. Did they even have Kaylee's phone? Is Kaylee's phone missing? Where were they able to find out about Kaylee's phone? Now you already know she purchased her own K-bar knife. Now I thought it came from the dad, but maybe her dad was why she got the credit card or debit card. Maybe she shares an account with her dad. I know I share an account with my stepmother. So it's very possible. I have my own, but I also share one with my stepmom. Look at her. And then watch how she takes pictures. As far as I'm concerned, she is making sure her best friend is toasted. She already knows that her best friend is going to get her ass whooped. And she doesn't want her best friend to feel it. She's letting whomever on the other end of that phone know exactly what's going on. Who are they with? Who are they around? You think that's normal behavior? Sometimes it is. But constantly being on that phone? Where's her drink? Where's her cup? I'm not saying that's not normal. Taking pictures of your friends and stuff like that. That's very normal. But texting instead of constantly being on your phone, constant conversation, looking around the room, acting innocent, playing with your hair. Look around the room again, see who's watching you. Look around again. Act like all is cool. How many other people are picking up their phones? Is it just her? Observe everybody else, not just her. Anybody else picking up their phones constantly? I get they will to take pictures of each other, but texting and everything? I hear music, I see dancing. I know everybody's got a phone on them. Are they texting constantly? Look, she's observing everybody and acting like she's not. You tell me what you think is going on here. Where is Kaylee's drink? Where's her cup? Why is no guy buying her a drink? Where's her drink? How come she's not sipping Maddie's drink? Thank you. Thank you for being here, Translucent Crew. Thank you, Heart of Gold. Thank you, Dorky Lady. It's all of them. Thank you. Nothing makes sense. I'm trying. Cheat code. Thank you. Miss Mel. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for participating. Did she take a sip yet? Did I miss anything? So far, she ain't touching the phone, but most of the time she's on that phone. So that's something you guys could do. You can go to Connor's. You're welcome. It's all of them. Thank you. You're welcome. Most definitely. Thank you. Actually, I'm telling you, she's making sure her friend is toasted. So when anything goes down, whatever's planned, she knows her friend is not going to feel a thing, or as close to it as possible. She knows that she's going to lose her friend tonight, or this in the morning. I believe she knows. I don't even know if maybe she can literally be the psychopath that takes her own friend's life. We don't know. Did Maddie ever have an affair with her boyfriend? Oh, there's a drink. And she puts it down. No way. So she put Keely's drink down. Watch that drink. Watch it closely. See if anybody goes near that drink. She's back on the phone. She constantly gets that phone. She's texting. Now she's taking a quick pic of whoever's behind her, that's standing right behind her. Yeah, she's definitely, maybe that's all it is. She's being a good friend. But she knows that she's about to lose her. So, in the coroner's report, her alcohol level was enough to kill her. Enough to kill her. She didn't suffer from getting beat up, apparently, because that's not in the report, but she suffered from multiple stab wounds. Okay, now they go to the back of the area. It's not easy to see them. But you will, I'll leave a link for this too. I want you guys to observe it. You will notice that she constantly goes on the phone there too. It's always on the phone. So I'm going to stop this. And I'll leave a link for this as well. I have it on my channel, but I want to make sure you go to the channel that put it out first, okay? Just that, and then you can record it, and like I want to be respectful to everybody. I want to see if she pulls the phone out. So she leaves this. So this is an empty drink. She's done with that. They have no more drink. I didn't see her once, only one time share this drink. I only seen her one time. But that doesn't mean it was only one time. I may have missed it. And what it looks like, Maddie's drinking from other people's drinks. Kaylee's back on the phone. She's in conversation, but she's back on the phone. Constantly texting somebody. Could she now be dating the person in Texas? Could the perp be coming from Texas? Now, does anybody remember this rumor? Because right now it's a rumor, so I can go find the proof that Dylan was with Kaylee when she purchased the vehicle. How long was Dylan with Kaylee? Not Bethany. Dylan was with Kaylee when she purchased her car. How long were they together? How long did she stay in Boise, or did she even go to Texas with her? They say that Kaylee only came to the house because she was. They talked her into it to be her +1. Well, how's Dylan getting back home? She don't have a car. So it only makes sense to drive her back home, so Kaylee could show off her car, bring Dylan home, be her +1. What does Dylan and Kaylee know? What did they know when they came back home? Yeah, if you guys remember that, if you guys can send me a link, if you remember where it's at or who talked about it. I remember somebody talking about it. I remember somebody showing information that Dylan was with her when she purchased the vehicle. But I don't know if it was Steve that talked about it, or... So I still got... Right now it's a rumor. Like, who does that with their fist? Like, I only seen an old person do that with their fist. Joking around like they're gonna fight. Something happened right here. She's crossing her arms. She went in to do something. It looked like she swam. Are they just kidding? Are they playing? She goes in for a kiss. She kisses Maddie. That's a serious tongue kissing in front of... Okay, so they're flirting. They're doing a lesbian thing. She just kissed her, tongue kissed her. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you all see that? Oh my God. I know you say is her brother works at the Grubhub. I'll have to ask her about that because I didn't see that. I know her and her sister. She has a sister's actually shorter than her. And actually older than she is. She's shorter. She looks younger, but she's older. All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to the parents because We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let's go back to the parents. You guys can go watch that. All right. We'll have an open panel. You guys just have to request it so I know to schedule an open panel. I want to know that that's what you want to do. Otherwise, that's the only reason why I'm not doing an open panel. All right. Okay. I want to finish this off. Now, what I said about Kaylee is my opinion and my opinion only. I truly feel that those screenshots that were going around showing a female with braids being walked away from the scene with a blanket and sweat clothes on by 2 officers is not tall enough to be Dylan, even though everybody kept saying that's Dylan. I truly believe that's Kaylee. I matched up the hair. I did a whole matchup and everything. And I did that just with the first release of this Grubhub video that Olivia gave us. And it was perfect. The hair lined up, the color, where the highlights start, everything, all lined up. That's another reason why I believe nothing at all happened to her. However, I don't know if the parents know anything about that. That is the part I don't know. When it comes to WITSAC program, they're usually they're made to believe that they really truly lost their child, and they may not know that she will no longer see the family. She may be alive and well, or he set it up, put some girl in her place in order to hide her. But we don't know.
They're like that.
They're going to show overlapping between their timing records, some of the victims' timing records, which they had. Now, they didn't have Brian's timing records because it went past 7 days, but they were going to overlap his pings in Idaho and their timing advance records and where they were at the same places at the same time, because there's other records like receipts and surveillance. There were ATMs. There was all these different things they were going to say.
But what about Santa and Ethan? Where are their time records? After Bethany took her eyes off of them, where did they go next? Oh, and then when the father said he spoke to them, that they were having pizza at 12, that wasn't that night. That was on a Friday night that turns into a Saturday morning. He even made it clear he didn't remember if it was Friday or Saturday night because he was drinking, he was drunk. And they had a fight, and he was going to go there and go help them. But it wasn't that night of the unaliving. It was on a Friday night, not a Saturday night. So why do they want us to believe that they had pizza about 12:30 and she talked to her dad before the incident? Because that was Friday night, not Saturday night. So where are their timing records? Where did they go? Where did they go before they went to Sigma Chi? Where did they go after Sigma Chi? And were they at all at Sigma Chi? Because there's no photographs coming from anybody at that party who uses their phone, flashes and takes pictures constantly, videos, parties. There's nothing. There's no leak. When you see the body cam at the Banfield, there's no sign of a party at Sigma Chi. It's quiet. And the Banfield boys are headed to their frat house. It's quiet. There's nobody in those houses partying. Did they go to, were they in Pullman, like I believe? Did they go to Pikes instead? This is why I kind of feel that timestamps for the Grubhub truck and Corner Club is a Friday night and not really a Saturday night. It's just they altered the timeline. alter timestamps. Of course, with Grubhub, they can't alter the timestamp. So remember, your guys are like, well, how can Joe Woodall be at two places at once when we see him being talked to by an officer as he's walking through the Carmen Fernandez hit and run? I bet you that maybe Maddie was wearing the same thing or something this in the same manner, half top. Maybe not the same half top, but maybe she likes wearing baggy jeans, half top, and her wonderful jacket. Maybe she never changed her clothes. She wore it for the next night too. But what if I'm right that the Corner Club incident, the Grubhub, is all Friday night and not Saturday night? And the Pullman situation with the cover-up of Carmen Fernandez hit and run, that's really where everything went down. And then the unaliving, while she's being booked, guys, at 1122 King or around that area, along with an extraction, which is a protection of possibly two individuals or only one. See, that's something you guys should look into. There's a possibility that your daughter's alive. Why not listen? Why not just look? Did you really see her body? Did you really truly identify her? Or are you just saying that because you are making money off of it, or you already know? And you have to make us believe that she's gone. What do you know, Steve, that you're hiding from your own family? Olivia, too, your daughter. What does she know? Because she sure as hell backed you up. She sure as hell knew how to get information that police couldn't fucking get. Yet they interviewed every one of these individuals and they said, well, we were here, we were there, da 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 da. They talked about the Grubhub is filming on Twitch. But Grower wanted to say that because he wanted the officers to see that. Olivia wanted the officers to see that. They wanted us to see that. As far as I'm concerned, we showed that Grubhub live stream wasn't really a live stream. It was a rerun. Probably maybe towards the end, maybe it did become a live stream, but I think it's all a rerun. I think it's a rerun from Friday night, along with adding individuals that shouldn't even be alive, like Hannah Clear and a few others. I really think about that. I'm not just putting something out. Content creators from every platform have been talking about it for 3 years, and they're still talking about it.
These victims and this perpetrator were here at the exact same time, multiple times over and over and over again. That's what I believe personally, is my opinion, they were gonna establish in the case that they ran away from.
Have they warned you guys if there's more to come in terms of releases, or?
We know there is, because we haven't even got to the original county yet. We're still in Ada County. All these releases are on Ada, so we haven't even got to the real meat of the releases. So yeah.
We know more's coming. We don't know what's in it.
We've been trying to find out about the leak investigation that we don't feel like's even happening. We think it's fake because we were the first. My lawyer was the first one to point out that there was a leak in this investigation before it ever even got to Dateline. And we've never even been contacted. He's never been contacted. So to us, there is no investigation going on whatsoever. So we emailed them directly, and they.
It may not necessarily be fake, Steve. There's a whistleblower in the system. They released documentation, pictures of what everybody believes is Xana. And I'm telling you, the ones who download it the ones who have access to it. I'm not saying put it on your social media. Don't do that. Zoom the fuck in. It is not Xana on the floor. They want you to know it's not her. And then that little light bulb thing, okay, yeah, I did a video just about matching up the one of the workers that are just taking photographs and they're in the hazmat suit. But I also noticed another content creator putting out a little bit more footage of that. And not only do you see a blonde-headed laying a certain way, you see a brunette hair girl laying in that bed, not a blonde-headed. So you have Maddie, and then next to her is a person with fucking brown hair. And you can see that in that little light bulb reflection. So is it people in the hazmat, the ones that are taking the photographs, and it just looks like somebody's laying in the bed? Or is it? Did they find Xana upstairs and not at all in Ethan, next to Ethan, or in her own room? I would really, really pay attention to these pictures because they leaked it on purpose. What was the purpose of showing us a reflection out of a light bulb? Everything is redacted. There, you don't see blood, nothing. It's a reflection from a fucking light bulb. What are they trying to tell us? They're the ones that work at the police station. They work with the evidence. They're the ones that release the FOIA requests and the information onto their website. Why did they do that? Huh, Steve? That's something y'all need to pay attention to. And then Chris making her daughter the fucking hero again constantly. No. Jules is the one that got in touch with them to take it down. A content creator that you don't like is the one that went and helped you guys. Well, not you. Went and helped the family take that shit down. Who else reported it? Miss Chapin. Your daughter didn't do shit. Your daughter doesn't even have the fucking intelligence to have pointed that out or even noticed. Somebody would have had to send it to her and go, look, they're showing Xana on TikTok.
Basically just told us, leave, get out of here. We're not going to tell you anything. We're not going to tell you the truth. You don't need to know the truth. We're going to do our investigation and maybe you'll know what happened. And I said, you know what? You can say that, but I'll go to the media and I'll let people understand that that's the kind of leadership that we have in this case right now. We have very questionable leadership who's literally sitting here telling us that we don't have the right to know about the investigation that cost us a trial.
I mean, yeah, in hindsight, we think did the leak sabotage our case? Because, weeks later we had a plea deal like thrown in our lap, and 3 days later we were sitting down in Boise, giving this guy a plea deal. So we're like, did this leak, was it really detrimental to the case so bad that, from what we were told was the defense came to prosecution and asked for the plea.
Well, the leak, how much of the leak was false and how much of the leak was true? And the leak literally talked about having his murder porn on his phone, all these pictures of other victims or
passed out
drunk girls.
Yeah.
You can look that up.
And Steve, all that was after the murders, not before the fucking murders. I don't know how many content creators have already covered this. You're watching them. You're against them. You're calling them crazy. He didn't look at anything like that until after the murders, because he was like us, trying to figure out, hey, what in the world? Or what is it that they know? He's like us. He's a sleuth. He never looked up any of those items before the unaliving. And if y'all prove me wrong, that's fine. But I have another thing to say. He's a PhD student. He's still a sleuth like us, if he doesn't have a job. Or he's a Fed, and this was the operation, is to find the human traffickers. How do they human traffic these students? Why are these students coming up unalived and unexplained? How come they're being staged as if it was a suicide or an accidental? Why is the school doing a memorial for all the students they've lost? Not just your daughter, not just the Idaho 4, all of them. I hope I make myself clear. So if Brian is a Fed or just a sleuth, curious sleuth, it's all about the human trafficking. Who on the planet really is looking for passed out girls, drunk girls? Most men who watch porn, they like something a little deeper. Not that they want to do that porn or copy that porn. It's just when you're, I would say, masturbating, sometimes you can't get off unless you watch something you would never do. And then after you're off, you're like, oh my God, why the fuck did I watch that? And if any of you guys think, try to tell me that doesn't happen to you, don't, whatever. Because that's a lie. Sometimes when you're masturbating, you'll imagine something that you would never ever do because you know damn well it's not going to feel good. However, just the view of it, because you've seen it, turned you on. That doesn't mean you're ever going to do it. And a lot of men are desensitized lately. Porn has been a very evil thing. Has messed up lots of relationships where you would have normal love, normal making love, completely disappear because now they're being trained to turn their women or girlfriends into sluts or porn stars. And then the girls feel that they're not going to get love from the guy unless they become a porn star or act like a porn star. I mean, there's too many, men that are cheating on their women because another girl can do something better than her. Porn has been a bad thing. As sensitized as men have become, even causes the human trafficking. Brutal human trafficking. Children, younger kids, younger adults, because their bodies are sexier, I guess, or their skin is tighter. What about the potty porn? How nasty that is. Yet that exists. Sorry, I didn't mean to be nasty or anything, but you need some education. Human trafficking is real. You talked about your daughter being worried about human trafficking or child trafficking. That she got into the true crime thing, which tells me that she decided she's going to start helping or, become an informant. That she had witnessed something and she's trying to get them caught. Or she knew, or it's all about you. How would she know to get her best friend drunk? How would she know that something was going to go down and she wanted to protect her best friend from feeling the pain? How would she know to do that? Why did she buy a K-bar knife? Why is this K-bar knife now connected to Brian? We have a right to those questions too. Yes, it's not our children, but we have to worry about our justice system. That they can literally put you away whether you're innocent or if you're innocent, for God's sakes. And all you can scream is, they have his DNA. That's all they need. They have his DNA. That's all they need. Yet that wasn't what they were using. And everything that's being released, guys, still does not tie to Brian.
All that stuff has been unsealed and been verified. So
well, weren't they going to have a special prosecutor? Isn't that what
Yes.
the judge said?
Yes, he said they were going to assign us, and he was going to come after that person, whoever did it, with vigor.
Yeah,
And
Hitler has been a huge disappointment. I mean, he has been a massive disappointment. And we've been saying all we want to know is where it's at, because we're not being contacted, and we know who your leaks are. We've heard some of them. We were aware of some of these facts before they became public. So we could probably clear some of the stuff up, and they don't even want to talk to us because they're scared of what we've discovered and who would get fired if we actually put that on record. And they tell us, stop emailing us because you're making records.
Boom!
Do they
That's
just
how you
want
know.
this all to end? Is that they just want to have this in the rear view?
Boom, better. All right, Steve. You're finally on board. Hey, welcome to social media. I know you don't want to act like you're a pro burger, but you're finally on board, aren't you? Yep. You're just not telling the world that you are.
Mirror? I mean, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, they keep telling us, stop emailing us, you're making records. They literally told our lawyer.
What do they mean by that? Why can't there be records?
I don't know.
Well, if you raise these things up in court like we did, we raised this up and said, hey, there's a leak from the prosecutor. They're like, you're making records. Stop doing it. And I'm like, listen, you got to understand the people you're dealing with. I'm not going to be okay with these side deals that are going on. I don't know what's going on, but all I know is I'm getting to the truth. 100%. We're going to get to the truth. I don't care who gets in trouble. And
all right. Think about that, Steve. You want to get to the truth. You don't care who gets in trouble. What happens if they are trying to protect lives in the WITSAC program? What happens if that's real? If that's what's going on here? Maybe that's why Hitler caved in the way he did. Because he knows he's got to put away an innocent man. That's why he didn't demand any information from Brian. He just let it go. Because he knew that if Brian tried to give information, he was not going to give the correct information. And then the judge would not be able to approve his appeal. The judge needed to be able to approve his appeal because he knows that Brian has no clue of what actually happened. He has no clue that your daughter is still alive. He thinks he's sitting for 4 deaths. Only the killer knows who they are unalived and how many are still alive. It's another reason why nobody's talking. There's no leaks.
That hasn't made it a very popular narrative. So now they're just like, stop emailing us, stop making records, just leave us alone. This is inappropriate.
They said they can't deny or confirm whether there's an investigation.
Hello? If all the data did, that's not normal. What does that fucking tell you? There is an ongoing investigation. They are watching. They are waiting for the right people to slip. They are protecting Brian. If you think he's in trouble and he's having issues, that's just to make all these motherfuckers like you and fucking Brian Entin and all the guilters happy, because they want us to believe they got the man. It's over. The school needs it. They got the man. It's over. There's nobody else. There's no because the school students, both schools, and its accomplices. He said, "Do you think anybody's going to Poland or Moscow? A different state." Can as much money as they used to. I mean, it's
That was the judge.
It's basically you guys don't
No,
have to
basically.
You don't have. I have the right to know you, Judge. You don't have the right. I have more of a right to this than you.
my internet kicked me off. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. So I do apologize. My internet, for some reason, took a dump. But I'm still here. All right, let me see what you guys have. I said, you could be right. I don't believe anything he says. That is not Xana. Thank you. I agree 100%. Steve is an attorney. You can't tell me he doesn't have no shit. Give me a break. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Heart of Gold. Translucent, thank you for the 100%. Thank you for being here, Translucent. I really do appreciate that. SG and Christy have told us through the media exactly how this case will be unfolding. Like, injuries don't match, don't have to go up the stairs. Christy says the perp could have found from genealogy, etc. I agree. Let me see. I know I'm reading backwards. Just forgive me. Yes, strange how Dylan's interview, the officer, tears Dylan from talking about the rugs to making it seem innocent thing that everyone does to study. I agree. But I also feel they wanted us to think that they were, doing recreational RD, because they wanted us to believe that it was a cartel situation. That's another reason why the documentation, which Pavarotti says is facts, keeps coming out. It's just easier to go into that direction. And even though he points out, okay, well, one of their witnesses is gone, and da-da-da-da. Listen, I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm saying it's made to look like that. That's how it's go from the beginning. They weren't supposed to have a wolf. They weren't supposed to have a serial killer, a Brian Koberger. In the beginning, their plan was to look like a cartel hit. A sneaky one at that. Ones that clean up. It didn't work out because they constantly kept changing. When we watch those body cams, they're sitting there going through everything, making sure they didn't miss nothing. They're changing it. They're saying, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. We have to change it before they get here. And you can hear that in the voices. You can hear all that. Yes, I feel in some way it's made to look like it. Yeah, yes, thank you. I mean, it was too clean on that table. Rolled up dollar bill or paper or whatever they have, and then some stuff on the table. And then they did the same thing in the kitchen table. I'm sorry, it was too neat and clean. And then they had a lid over it. So they had the rolled up paper on the side, a little bit of junk on the side, and then they had a lid over the rest of it, which is a pot lid. I mean, go look at the original video, pictures that they gave us, photographs. They wanted us to believe that it is a cartel thing. It doesn't help that the only documentation that you can find and connection that you can find is that within that area. But we don't find nothing about human trafficking. We don't find nothing about the individuals that are that the school did a memorial for. Why did they do a memorial for them if this is a drug hit? I mean, ask Pavarotti that question. If this is a cartel thing, only cartel thing, why did they do a memorial for every student that they lost? When none of them have a report of having that kind of thing in their system. I mean, really, really think about it. What happened to them? Sorry, I'm just putting it out there because that is something this family, if they're really telling the truth, they're really fucking confused, which I doubt. But if they really were genuinely worried, confused, and why are they not questioning this shit? Why are they not looking into it? Why are they saying we are pro-burgers? We don't know if he's guilty or innocent. What we do know is that there's no evidence whatsoever that says that he is guilty, except for your so-called DNA, that they had no plans of using against him.
Something, I recently, I had not gone through any of Kaylee's stuff. So last week I started trying to just go through Kaylee's things. So literally opening boxes that have been packed up since she passed away. So, those boxes are coming from Moscow, and those were her room packed up exactly.
That's definitely genuine. But there's no emotion coming from the husband. He's observing her emotion. Look at him. That's what psychopaths do. There's nothing in him. From her emotions, sucking it in. Look at this. It's a little blurry. I'm so sorry.
The way she left it. So I'm looking for certain things, and that has been it's been slow. But
notes she wrote herself.
Little notes that she had on her little sticky pads, and her hairbrush, and her retainers, and clothes that you see her wearing a lot of the pictures. And
like I said, a judge, you're not as important as you think you are.
It just is all too much.
We are the victims, and if you're not there for the victims, then get out of the way. Get out of the way, Hitler. If you're not here to do a real investigation, get out of the way.
Well, he did. He got out of the way. That means, Steve, that there's a real investigation. I'm sorry, this is not real dad emotions. You know who gave the real dad emotions? Maddie's father, Xana's father, Ethan's father. I'm sorry, Steve, but you haven't given any real emotion that these fucking men did. They cried in front of the fucking camera. They teared up in front of the camera. They choked a little bit on their tears, and you can hear it on the fucking camera in their interviews. You are so straight-faced. Ready to fight. Fight for what? You know exactly what happened. In my opinion. My opinion only. And I'm going to keep pointing out my opinion. I'm going to keep showing proof of my opinion. And yes, if I find something that, proves me wrong, I will apologize. But for right now, no, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know why,
But we know until we get calls, it ain't real. It ain't real because we were the very first to tell them that this was what was going on. And we were right because we knew about things like the white car, we knew about the sheath. And the thing is, Thompson knows. We asked him about the sheath before it became public, and his eyes just dropped out of his head. And he's like, how did you guys hear about this? And we're like, because you guys have people talking to the media. We're not special, but we are very committed to figure this out.
Ball.
Yeah, we do know things are being leaked. We're trying to help your investigation by saying that this is going on. So reel it in, have a meeting, tell everyone they got to close their lips up, and let's get back on the same ship. But instead of that, they made us look like we were up to something bad. And, they went out, I think 3 days later, they put.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Shannon literally calls them out, and their answer is to gag him. And people don't even realize what's going on. It's like, they're literally taking a family lawyer that we're working with and gagging him as if he's part of this investigation. This is the story. This is part of the story right here in front of you. And everyone's like, well, good. I'm glad they gagged their family. I'm glad. Well, guess what? Well, now you got this investigation you're never going to get to the truth of. And the first people who brought it to your attention, you told them to shut up and be quiet.
Yeah. Well, you guys know like 99.99%. I told you this, Christy, too, of people support you guys. I mean, it's always just the vocal, people who are like, oh, he didn't do it. Or, just people who just want like some controversy and like to stir things up on the internet. Yeah. But I hope you guys feel like, almost everybody supports the families and thinks of you guys and just feels terrible.
And I've always been an aggressive Kaylee first type guy and Maddie first. So if I offend you with the way that I approach defending them, I don't care. And I told Hitler, it's not my job to protect the guy who killed my kid. That's your guys' job. And if I make your job difficult, I don't care about it. I don't care. You know how difficult it is to lose your child? Lose your child in the middle of this, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Get over yourself. Get over yourself, Judge. If I made your job hard, too bad. Too bad. Get over it, man. Get over it. Don't tell me how rough it is to go through a murder when your kid's asleep in her bed, getting higher educated, like graduating in days. And you're telling me how hard your job is because I'm talking to the media? Well, maybe you shouldn't be so scared of what I'm saying. Maybe you shouldn't be scared of what we're saying. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, then dismiss it. But it is what it is. We're trying to get.
That's how we all feel, Steve. That's what we're all preaching. The same shit that just came out your mouth. As you're showing a little bit of a macho emotion. Okay? We're all in the same boat. We're invested in this. And it's not because of, completely because of your children. It is about the corruption in law enforcement. I mean, we're already seeing what ICE is allowed to do. We're learning that even Trump is about ready to also take away citizenships from born citizens. Hello. Things are getting crazy in America. Yes, sir. And then we're looking at a collapse of our money system, so we can move into the new money system, where a lot of people are not going to be able to work. They're not going to be able to stop the bills, so what they're going to do is put everybody on UBI so they can continue money laundering legally. Not that people are money laundering, the government is. Because they want the tax money. And the only way they can get that tax money is if they make sure the companies are making enough money they could pay those taxes. Can't do that unless you're feeding, the cattle. Oh, it gets worse. It's not just your situation. It's just your situation takes the cake. Laws are being passed from this whole situation and from Idaho.
Through it every day at a time, and it's hard, man. And when you lose leadership completely, and that's what happens when you get a plea deal, you've lost all leadership. It's just turned over to the World Wide Web. Everyone's their own media network. Everyone can grab an iPhone and start freaking publishing as if they were like the legit real media, and they all spin it their own way, and there's no leadership to course correct and put things back on the right record. There is no more record. They literally wash their hands and say, it's done, it's over.
You know what my favorite thing is? To see people sit there and they all have their opinions, right? All these people, these are all opinions. And then we'll do a video, say on your show, and people will say in your comments, perhaps, or Nancy Grace's comments or something, and say, I'm so sick of these people. I'm so sick of hearing what they have to say. So our opinions don't matter, but everybody else's do. We should sit down and shut up, and we should stop
about
talking.
Our own child.
But everybody else can just keep talking about it. I mean,
yeah, if you think we should shut up, get a life. Get a life. Nobody should shut up about their own child. And you weren't raised in the kind of family we were raised in if you ever stop professing for your child. I'm going to profess till the day I'm dead. And then I will be quiet.
Well, I think for some people, it's just like a video game. Like, it's just, they just watch it. Yeah. It's like they haven't been to your house. They haven't met you guys. They haven't met your other family members. They haven't seen they don't see that it's a real, that you guys are real people. You're just like these characters on a TV screen. I think, you know what I mean?
Well, I get that. I think that's why I try to be forgiving and try to be like,
all right, Brian Entin, that's bullshit. All right, we do know that they're human. We do know that if they truly believe they lost their daughter, that we need to be sensitive and understanding. And even if they don't. Okay. I'm looking for that news thing where the guy expressed that he felt that what's his name? Steve was a psychopath. I think I did a live event already showing it. So I'm trying to find it now. Show it again. If I can find it. If not, I'll have to do another live event. But it's an interview with the same guy who talks about Ethan's wounds, and I put in my 3D animation on it. It's the same guy who feels that something wasn't right with Steve. I think this might be it. Hold on. Steve has no idea of the latest autopsy. Okay, that's not it. Just give me a minute. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. We're getting there, though. Could this be it? No, that's not it. No, I'm gonna find it. And I was shocked to even watch it. I was shocked to, listen to it. I just don't remember when I seen it. Could this been it? Steve G. Yeah, just give me a second. I apologize. I am looking for it. But I was really surprised to come across it. So I'm trying to remember where it came from. And I know I talked about it, and I swear to God that I posted. So let me see my live, because I can't find it in my history. I swore I posted. Oh, go figure. No. Okay, that's just a podcast. Could have been in this one. Okay, so it's not that one. Oh man, I swear I talked about it. But where? When? Eric Grower, Call of Duty. Could it be this one? Alright, I have to wait. I'm so sorry. Alright, so there was an interview with a specialist. He's a body language specialist and also character analysis specialist. And it was an interview about Steve and how he felt about Steve. So I really cannot believe I can't find it. Let me see where we're at with this. Okay, we have time. Good. I'm going to play this while I look for it. So we're not in silence.
Like, you know what? Don't even go down those paths. But it's hard. It's hard for her because she feels like that matters. And I've tried to tell her, you know what Kaylee and Maddie would think about how you defended him, that would matter. That would matter a lot more than a couple people's sentences.
I've just never seen a murderer, in such a horrific crime to these 4 kids be defended so at such a high regard, just
there's a lot of sick people that relate
just defending, what he did or protecting him. I don't know if it's just, trying just to, oh, he's innocent. He's just, so innocent. And poor Brian. I mean, it is just because I know 100% without a doubt who killed him.
Anybody with a brain knows his history since like literally middle school has been just problematic.
Yeah.
Girls. And the crazy thing is, it's a lot of times it's these crazy females that want to defend him. And if anybody was harassed by him and felt that they were threatened by him, it was females. So it's.
Well, he also admitted it. I mean, he could have had a trial. Like, I mean.
Yeah.
He admitted it and said, I'm not even going to fight it.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, what.
But they're going to fight it for him.
Yeah, It's such a small percentage, though. I mean, I know it's easy for me to say, and then you guys see comments, but it's like this many people. I don't know if there's a way to just try to block those people out, because you know,
I took
there's always going to be crazy people.
Part that would like probably
stop. I just try to like, I just really, try hard, just not to focus on it. I just, I hate to see him.
Yeah, you don't
be
want
protected,
somebody defending. Yeah,
and
he's the scum of the earth.
I think that when this, when this stuff starts coming out, and that's why we try to, be vocal about what happened to Kaylee and say, look, she wasn't just sleeping in her bed, and to ignore all the evidence and just go with your own theory here. And these two could be seen as two. Maybe the law enforcement messed up. I don't know. I don't read all the documents. I really try not to dive into it. You know what I'm saying?
You're consumed already.
I'm consumed with enough crap already. So see, the law enforcement made some mistakes. That doesn't mean that him innocent. I'm sorry, I can't even
It's okay.
It doesn't make him innocent. Just because law enforcement made some mistakes, and I'm not denying or confirming that. I don't know.
There's no perfect investigation.
They messed up. And because mistakes were made, it doesn't mean that they could have been honest mistakes. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know what I would be referring to as mistakes, because I don't.
Well, a mistake would easily be like, you're in front of the murder house doing minor in possession when you should be up there at the King Road house. I mean, that would be an example of why some people are like.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, at the end of the day, his DNA is on the knife sheath.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's on video speeding away.
Yeah.
Arriving and then
one-way road.
Speeding off. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, all of the reports from before of his behavior at WSU. I mean, I don't know. It's not like there wasn't any evidence here.
Here's a big one for me, and a lot of people may think, oh, this is wholly normal, but when he was arrested, 100% confirmed myself by me, he was sitting in his kitchen at whatever time it was back in Pennsylvania, late at night, early in the morning, whatever it was, wearing gloves, sorting trash into baggies. Why would somebody be doing that?
And then run.
Is that normal? They said, and by the time they got into the house, they had eyes on him. That's what he was sitting there doing. By the time they got into the house, he took off running, and they ultimately arrested him on the stairs. But yes, he was sitting at the kitchen table sorting trash.
So
with gloves on.
They did, but they announced the police are here, and they kicked down the door. The rest of his family stood exactly where they were. Only one person ran away and tried to hide. Only one. Actions speak louder than words, people. He's going through his trash, and the cops say, "We're here," and he runs off. But some people get it, some people don't.
He turned off his phone, and he had not shut his phone off like that from the cell. Who is it? Cellbrite.
Cellbrite basically
forensics said he had not turned his phone off like that in 9 months. So it's not like, dude, I turn my phone off every night, like some people do. So some people say that's not really that weird. Well, do you turn it off at 1:56 a.m. and then turn it back on at 4:32?
I just hate that you guys feel like you still have to prove this.
Well, we only have to do this because Thompson's retired, and he gave up on the case and thought that if I do a deal, my job's done.
It all goes away.
I have no responsibility to these families, responsibility to my community. I have no more responsibility to you camera people. I feel like as long as there's a story to be told, that somebody needs to be working through that courthouse and clearing this up. It shouldn't be us. It should be one of them till they're exhausted in the face, beating these stories in there. It shouldn't be us. And if you say it shouldn't be us, we agree. But who else is going to step in here? Because we were quiet for months. And guess what? Release after release after release, and they had to be redacted because they did it wrong. And we were the ones picking up the phone or email and saying, you realize there's bodies in these photos, right? You guys realize you're not very good at what you're doing. You need to pull these back. So that's what happens when we get quiet.
Security numbers, fingerprints and social security numbers.
Fingerprints and social security number of college grads. These guys aren't bad people. These people have dedicated their lives to be like the best of the best. And you're gonna go give out their information so somebody could steal it?
That was a mistake. Whoops.
Oh, we're gonna give them 5 years of protection. Yeah, well, that doesn't cut it. That doesn't cut it.
So,
yeah, they basically offered those people after we told them what they did. They're like, well, we'll give them 5 years of protection for their credit history. No, you'll do it for the rest of their lives.
Well, and the one photo was pretty clearly, you could see a body in. I mean, I don't know how they missed that or didn't check it.
How do you miss a social security number?
Yeah.
You can't send a social security number to a hospital and not get flagged. Okay, we have systems that literally just understand that sequence of code gets flagged. So what were these guys doing? I mean, what?
Yeah.
And fingerprints right along with them. So if you just really want to take on this person's identity, there you go.
The crime scene photos were bad. They were bad.
Yeah, they were inappropriate. You shouldn't lose your right to be a human being just because you died. And just because you were murdered in your bed, you're going to lose your right to HIPAA protections. Like, what? So I could go kill a bunch of people and then they lose all their right to their privacy? We get to share that? Like, we don't want to live in a world like that. That's not the kind of laws we want to defend. At least I don't.
Is there anything, that you guys can do? It shouldn't be your responsibility, but are they going to try to change any laws? Do you know?
We're trying to change laws. We were just talking to the management of Brad Little Friday and saying, hey, just the same thing. When somebody kills somebody, because there's a mental evaluation of the psychopath. And even though Thompson didn't want to use psychopath in the courtroom because he's a weak, pathetic prosecutor.
If it's not a real mental illness or something, I don't know.
He searched on his own phone. He searched up that he was a psychopath, but he didn't want to use it in court. So those type of things, that's his private. I'd be violating his rights if I went and looked at his HIPAA, his mental evaluation. But he can kill my daughter, and the whole world gets to see those records. That's not what Idaho's going to stand for. Idaho will not stand for that. You're not going to murder someone and then their records get blasted out for the rest of the world to see and make profit off and watermark, and then they basically can make money off it because that's the system that we're going to.
People are putting their logo, like their podcast,
like it's their property, the property to our kids' worst moments of their lives. They're gonna. How dare you share that? How dare you post it on your page? It belongs to me.
And I don't post any of that stuff on our page. I would never share the photos. I get it. If you're going to look at them, you're going to look at them.
But I don't like a system that supports this kind of behavior and makes it legal.
I don't like all the, just the very bottom feeders just sharing them and documenting and talking about them and blowing them up and zooming in. I don't like that aspect of it. Be professional with them. There is a professional manner that they can be handled. Be professional with them, with your entity. Don't.
That's a good point. The professionals have moved on to the next story that matters, and they should have. And now we have these cesspool, trailer trash type style people, and we need to make a law that, unfortunately, has to regulate the people that are at the lowest common denominator and say you guys can't profitize. And create this cesspool of lies, and because eventually, after 10 years, this could form into like what happened with, I don't know the case, but it was in the Bay Area where he killed his wife and put concrete and sunk her down.
Oh, Lacey Peterson.
Peterson just got a case. So this stuff can form up and can actually create a momentum and go somewhere. So I'm not gonna stand quiet when they do that and try to do what happened to the Peterson family. I don't want to do that. So I'm.
Well, then, why are you putting people down? However, I do agree with you about putting logos on photographs and videos that do not belong to us, that are here for everybody's use. So, I do agree. But I think all he does is kind of repeat himself. And I think we're done here. What do you guys think? Yeah, Thompson retired. I couldn't find that interview, so I'll have to do a separate live event when I find it. Because there's an interview with somebody who says he's an expert. And he gets into calling Steve G a psychopath. And I swear I put it on my post, and I think that I did a live event with it, but I can't find it. I don't know if any of you guys remember it, and I talked about it. I really want to show it again. I was surprised when I seen something like that, but I can't find it in my what do they call it? Yeah, I can't find it anywhere, guys. In my history, nothing. Almost, I think maybe they took it down, and that's why I can't find it. Because I know I posted, I talked about it. I'm just not sure if I did a live event. I checked my live events, but I can't find it on there. So I'm gonna have to go through my live events. But usually when you post something, and if it's not agreeable to what's going on, that they usually just quickly erase it or delete it from the channel. Either by owner does that, or YouTube does that. But out of my memory, hold on. The person I remember doing this interview is I can't believe I don't have it. I'm dizzy. It's when I post. Let me go here for public. Public. Alright, I'm going to show this. Okay. Hold on. I'm coming. Let me remove this. So the one I'm looking for is this. Because there's an interview where this man here, at least out of my memory, I think it's him. Out of my memory, it looked like him. But there's an interview of him talking about Steve. And was really concerned, was truly concerned that that Steve G could have been a part of this unaliving in some way, and that he shows signs of being a psychopath. And I really want to show it, but I gotta find it. If anybody remembers that I think I showed you guys or I posted, please remind me where to look on my own stuff. This is pitiful. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, Kate, me talking about it. Let me know. Did I even show it? But it's this man here. And he was concerned that Steve G was the psychopath, and and going into showing that he has a psychopath nature, or how he's presenting himself and his facial expressions. I gotta find it. Oh my god. I'm flipping crazy on this. And then, at least in this one, he critiques. I added my 3D. Okay? I added this picture in the 3D on top of this interview here. But it's an interview with him. And he's talking about Steve G. And I think it's from here, from the court TV. So I'll find it and I'll do a live event with it tomorrow. All right. I do thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the program. Maybe some of the things I said didn't make sense. It's fine. Let me know. My words aren't the best. If you have any questions or if you have your own feelings about it, please comment, but nicely. Watch the language. Otherwise, it will not be approved. There's certain words that YouTube will flag, and I've already set certain words and phrases that are not allowed to be accepted in the comments. So be an adult when you comment, be educated with your comments. I like chance, and I will get to your comments if you have really good questions, if you have good ideas, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that you haven't left any, because you have. All right, but it does keep me on the right track. All right. If you want to borrow my house and use it, please don't just say you don't know where you got it from. That's rude. I noticed that there are content creators using my 3D animation or a copy of it or a screenshot of it and just not giving me any credit for it and acting like, oh, I don't know where I got it. But what they do is they go on members only so they don't get busted or I don't complain. So, and I don't know why they're doing that to me. But that's what's happening. But if you want to use it, I don't mind you using it. I know you're going to record this one. I have a better one. And I even have the bed in the right places. But I've noticed assholes that like to, just make it look like they created something they didn't. So that's how people are, I guess. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I gotta go. I'm so tired. Thank you.